Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 223 of Beer and Other Shit podcast Adjunct series. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading our asses all the way to Quebec, and we were trying to figure out off air when the last time this gentleman was on the pod, and it seriously seems like it was 4 years ago, or actually 3 if you count the link up one. And that is crazy to me because I have genuine visions of doing a pod in this set in this house, but obviously I am tripping balls. So this is long overdue. This is a brewery we've known since before. We should probably recap the history, actually. Before it was even a brewery, when this gentleman was the head of the Montrealers Homebrew Club. And then we followed the whole journey the whole time. It's been so cool to watch how much these guys are kicking ass and just dominating in the region and just continually innovating and knocking out phenomenal beer in all the different styles and really introducing a lot of people to craft beer in the community. And it's phenomenal. So I'm excited to hang out and get lit with my boy tonight. So folks, please welcome. Hey, let me get these fucking ready nice and smooth here. Uncle Drew from Kahnawake in the building. There it is.
What's up?
What up? Isn't it crazy, man, that like when you actually think about like how long it's fucking been?
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, obviously we shoot the shit
All the time
on like
multiple
Messenger and
group
all that
chats.
stuff, multiple group chats and all that stuff, and it feels like maybe that we've talked a lot more times than we thought, and we try to figure out when's the last time I was on, and
yeah,
seems like it's been forever. So
yeah, which is kind of wild. But so that was the first thing that's wild. But even I always forget that we met when you were the president of the Homebrew Club, and me and Scotty were supposed to do. Remember, we were talking about doing a like me and him coming through as like the guest judges of one of the competitions and stuff.
Yeah.
That must have been 2017.
Even 2016, maybe. I don't know. When did you guys start? Because I remember watching episodes of I was watching episodes of you guys like homebrewing on a stove or something like that
At Scott's house. So that was 2015, 16. So the first episode was April 2015. So
yeah.
Have I frozen already? You're fucking kidding me. If it's hopefully this stops. It was doing this the other night. It should just kick back in. So then it could have been 2016. When did the brewery open again?
2018.
That's what I thought. So we did a pod with you pretty early on then.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what in my head, that's what I had was it was 2018.
We're itchy to get you guys in there. So I think it was definitely within the first year.
Within the first year, and it was before the connecting. So the brewery had to walk outside, and now it trips me out because it's all connecting, and it was the little fermenters, and we were doing like the tiny little guys. How big were those? Like 1 heck, 2 hecks?
They were 2 barrels. So
two barrels. Okay.
We're getting 2.5 out of it. Let's say
2.5. I respect it.
We're pushing it.
Hey man, you made it work, dude. And look what's happened. It's crazy. It's very cool. But yeah, thinking back, so say it's 2016. It's really 10 years next year that we've known each other, and then seeing what you've done is very cool. So we're gonna get into all the more recent stuff that you've done, because I guess it was 3 years ago for Link Up, but we didn't talk really about on that pod, when I say really at all, about really the brewery in general. We're talking about the diversity stuff, particularly because you're in an extra unique place to do that. So we're going to kick off with a couple of crispies tonight, which I'm stoked about. And this is the first one here, the old boot lager. And there's Pre-Prohibition Lager. Is this a newer beer?
That's it, Pre-Prohibition Lager. So this is actually a beer that, if you remember our old brewer, Christoph, who was Czech and he moved back to Europe. But this is one of his concoctions, actually taking on basically what German immigrants were potentially brewing when they came across to North America. So big amount of corn in there, 6-row barley, and just some good old German hops in there too. So.
Fuck yes, let's go. You know how I trim my nails and now I can't open the can? So I'm like, I just need one of these little things to try and get them open. Oh, you fuck. Okay, so I'll figure it out. So did you say it was corn? There we go.
Yeah. So there's corn and 6-row barley in there.
6-row. What's the 6-row? Is that like, what does that offer the beer?
It's just a different kind of barley, but basically what we tend to use, and my light just died while I do that. What we tend to use is more 2-row barley.
Yes.
And then so 6-row barley usually is a little bit less unrefined from my understanding. But it's great, and I find it's like a hidden gem a lot of times. But
okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna pour this beer, and I'm really disappointed these glasses came in after I shipped out your box, because I would have loved to ship you out one. But if anybody knows Kahnawake, they know that we're surrounded by a lot of golf courses. So we got inspired by a glass that's popping up online. It's a golf game. So it's kind of like split the G, you know, with Guinness. So you have your tee off line, and you have to try to get it closest to the hole.
That's sick. That is awesome.
So that's going to be my drinking glass for tonight.
I love it.
Capri faces.
That is beautiful. Shouts to Dan from Zen. He'll hook me up. Don't worry. We'll get that sorted. He always gets me. Which is great. That's a fire glass. So if people want that glass, it's available now at the brewery.
Yeah, it just came out this week, and yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude! I love it.
Just in time for Lager Day.
Lager Day. So, yeah, that was yesterday, day before, Tuesday.
Yeah,
I think, right?
so that was yesterday, December 10th.
That was yesterday.
And yeah, so we're doing Lager Day. Well, it's actually turning more into Lager Week. We brought in a couple of. We have 4 of our lagers on tap, and then we also have 4 guest taps. So one is Godspeed.
Which one?
We also have the Svetli Lezak.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We have Masorum with a Foeder Age Vienna. We have Hildegard with a Bock, and we have Herman with a Rice Lager. So some nice selection there for everybody.
Hell yeah. Like some of the best in Quebec alongside your stuff, mate. Cheers, you bloody legend. Look how clear this is, by the way. Could read a novel through this. Fantastic. I love craft pre-pro lagers. I feel like I don't see them too often, but when I do, that 6-row, that immediate, that's what that is. That fucking big. There's like this big punchy, like
a grittiness type thing.
Yeah, like chewy almost. Yeah, gritty and chewy. Like it's fucking boom. It's like whoa. It's very
has
different.
A little bit of that. Yeah, has a little bit of that corn sweetness there too. Just kind of balances everything out. Put a decent amount of bitterness in there too, just to feather everything and balance it all out. But this is just like a crusher, though. It's one of my favorite beers that we come out with, and we don't do it nearly enough.
No, how much does it come around? I guess.
We do it pretty much once a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which would guess would make sense. Now, did you do this one for the Lager Day and the Lager Week type of event?
I think that it was just actually coincidental that it came out at the same time. Yeah.
This is wicked. So just to because I'm doing the reviews as we go. So it was corn and 6-row.
That's right. Yeah.
6-row barley. Beautiful. Any hops specifically in this one? Or any specific? Obviously.
Yeah, we usually just kind of stick with something that would be noble but still North American grown. So I know we've been kicking around like Mountain Hood, for instance, but in this particular batch, I couldn't say right off the top of my head. But yeah, we usually kind of stick with whatever we can kind of get our hands on from like local hop providers, which are becoming harder and harder in Quebec. But there's a few out there still.
No, it makes sense, and I hear that from Quebec a lot. Though Quebec breweries with people are really seeming a lot there, almost more than anywhere else. I would argue that are trying to get local hops and as many local ingredients as possible. Is that you fuck with that?
Yeah, no, not, and more to the not really.
Okay, is it just not what you're looking for?
Exactly, it's not really what we're looking for all the time. We got bit in the ass a couple of times too with like most of our malt was coming from Quebec malteries and stuff like that, and it's just the price fluctuations, the quality fluctuations are pretty wild. So yeah, for anybody for stability, it's a little bit harder. If you don't mind rolling with the punches and all that stuff, um, by all means, go for it. There's a lot of breweries that do just buy as much Quebec stuff as possible. Um, but yeah, that's not really like our thing. We'll do a couple of beers here and there. It's like we have 14 taps to play with at the pub.
Solid.
So if we want to play around with some different things, but definitely we're looking for
Getting the best.
stability, especially in a lot of our core beers.
Understood. There's a level of expectation that you have to commit to for those things, so you can't be
Yeah,
playing with that. I
like
understood completely.
for instance, like a one-off, like a beer that we do like once a year, like this one. Like we would use different stuff if we wanted to, be it Quebec or Ontario or whatever, like a small maltery. Just for 6 row, it's pretty rare that anybody sort of does that. And then corn, we've been trying to track down local corn for a good while. I don't know. That's
Oh,
why people haven't really dabbled into it. I feel like corn kind of grows everywhere, but we haven't found a
reliable
reliable
supply.
source for that.
Yeah. Interesting. What a shame. Well, hopefully some folks step up, because I imagine it's probably, I was about to say it's cheaper, but because I was considering if you're getting it from international sources, excuse me, there's going to be other things to consider, tariffs and import duties and da. But
Yeah, yeah.
either way,
Corn is one of those weird things that like there's always this perception that it's so much cheaper. I guess because like a lot of the
plentiful.
big like that and a lot of the big breweries use it,
Mm.
but I don't really find it's like that much cheaper than something else.
Interesting. So you're spending for about the same amount on corn as you are on other grain.
Yeah, or sometimes more.
Damn.
Like for flaked corn is, I don't know, wildly expensive for whatever reason, but
Hmm.
probably the
Interesting.
processing or whatever like that.
When it's flake corn, does that mean it's like flattened and dried or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that would be probably a reasonable amount, getting the kernels off and then
Yeah.
turning it into something that's usable for grain. Yeah, that's going to be a whole ordeal, I bet. I totally get it. This is fucking fire, dude. So the lager week stuff. So you had the guest taps. You had this. How many lagers are from your side did you have on for lager day? And this would come out like on New Year's Eve. So this is happening now. We're recording this December 11th. So
Yeah.
y'all missed lager week, but hopefully by the time people hear this, there's always fire lagers on. Like Kahnawake, there's no plane. What else did you have on?
Well, we have 4 of our own. So the boot lager, which is the pre-prohibition lager. We have Climber, which is the Vienna lager. Bridge, which is I call it the king of KBC. That's the our premium pale lager. And Kiss of Smoke, which is a smoked amber lager.
Okay.
And then actually we just snuck one out this today or tomorrow. I might be jumping the gun on. Well, actually, it won't be jumping the gun because it's coming out after. But we got it out the door. Actually, we're bottling it the same day we're shipping your box out. So you actually have it in bottles. It's a barrel aged Vienna lager.
So this little guy right here.
Yeah. Actually, it's a Munich Dunkel that's been barrel aged, and there's been some wild yeast and bacteria that were introduced, and so there's a little bit of funky aspect to it, which was pretty cool. Something we don't really mess around too much with. So it's always exciting for us to come out with something like that.
You don't see barrel aged lagers very often.
No.
It's kind of few and far between, I guess. Imagine they're probably a little sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Rather than maybe a stout's a bit more forgiving.
It's funny because I hadn't seen that, so I thought we're like fairly original. Well, you don't see that often. And then just for Lager Week, we picked up a foeder aged Vienna lager from Masorum, for instance. Yeah, so it's just like, hey, crazy. We had like a similar idea around, I guess, around the same time. So
I had one from Triple Crossing in Richmond, Virginia. They did like a red wine barrel lager. I've still got a second bottle of that, I think. It's weird, but it works. It's like a funky. Barrel Heart here does one as well because all his stuff is farmhouse. So he did like a lager that's kind of funky as well. So they're kind of like, they're different, but it's like usually, and I guess a question, like the funk on the ones that I've had have been relatively like, because it's a little like shock because you're like, oh, this is odd. But then it settles, and you're like, oh, this just fucking works. Like I haven't had a bad one. They're just different. Is the funk level pretty mellow? I would imagine. Or is it you dial that up?
There. It's there. Yeah. It's not dialed up. I would say it's like maybe mid to low tier. So it's there though.
Right. It tastes like a fun, funky, different style of beer that works.
I'm actually thinking of one that I had maybe a couple of years ago from Robey in Quebec. Mm-hmm. And it was like, small can. I think it was a rice lager. So I'm like, oh, maybe they got out of the wild stuff because they only do, wild stuff. And I remember taking it was a hot day and I had taken this big swig, thinking I'm going to just crush thirst. And I wasn't expecting the funk and acidity to it. It was just like, that was, I almost choked on that one. That's not what I was expecting.
But then you get used to it. And you're like, all right. Yeah, and it works. I like it. I think it's like a fun thing, eh?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, why the fuck not? I mean, you're more than I would argue. You more than anybody that I know. We have done just you and me have done some of the dumbest beers ever, and I've seen you do other dumb ones with other people. It's amazing. I love it. You're down for anything. So I like it because this is like a refined dumb. It's like like as opposed to ridiculous dumb that we do in the best possible way. When I say dumb, you know what I'm saying. I mean it's fun and we're also
I mean
innovation.
We're here to have fun and fuck around and shit. So
yeah. So okay, so that's pretty sick. So the other thing that just sort of struck me is you said you had Godspeed on tap, and I remember that before I left, and I wasn't able to even attend it, but me and you were organizing because of Kahnawake's special legal situation. You can bring in beer from anywhere, and you don't have any problems like the rest of Quebec. So you and me were.
So we did three actually. We did three of those.
Godspeed, Third Moon, Badlands, right?
That's right. Nailed
it. It's so cool, man. I'm so spewing because it was a different life back then. When I didn't have a car, I was just so whack. I just couldn't do shit. It was so hard. And now I've been to the brewery more than I did when I lived there. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is ridiculous. But yeah, it's really cool. So that just so I don't know if we've ever talked about that on there, I guess, because we did that. So what's the situation that allows you to do that? Because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're really like a country inside of a province inside of a country. Everything is usually, they're going for a sovereign nation. It's a First Nations territory and all that stuff. So a lot of the things are basically self-governed. There's its own sort of government. There's for instance, for us, there's our own alcohol control board and all that stuff that exists. So that because we don't have to go through the SAQ. Or here the RACJ in Quebec, we kind of have a straight pipe to. I mean, we can bring in stuff. It's a lot trickier coming in from the States because it's very literal. You're going from country to country, so you need to process through Canada anyways. But from province to province, which I mean, I don't even know where we're at with interprovincial trading right now, but is that a thing? But if it is,
should be next year.
Okay, well, so for us, it's never been really an issue. The issue is just getting it here, which is we can book a transport company and pull in some kegs or cans or whatever like that. But yeah, it doesn't have to sit in the SAQ's warehouse and sit on the floor while it's being processed for months. I don't know what they even need to process for months, but
3 months. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it was fun reaching out to places like Badlands and Third Moon as send us the freshest IPA you have. And they're like, oh well, we don't want to ship IPAs to Quebec because they sit on the floor for 3 months. It's no, we can get this now. So
they didn't get it. Yeah, right? So they had to explain it to them.
Yeah, so this was great. I actually, after this, we should talk about rekindling that because
I was kind of thinking,
yeah. I think it kind of dropped off. You were moving, and I don't know what the hell I was doing, but we kind of just dropped off on that. And but
we did those 3. It was pretty cool. Within every one a month for 3 months, I think, right?
Yeah. And yeah, it's pretty cool because it gives the audience around here, and we're pretty close to Montreal too. So I feel like we're kind of getting like the Montreal people over and all that stuff as well. Um, but like just introducing them to the stuff that they couldn't get, and especially back then, like I guess hype was a little bit more real than it is now. Maybe hype could be arguably dead right now, but it's still, there's still some good stuff out there that could always make its way out here.
I think so too, and that's why when we were doing it, I thought it was so sick for the exactly what you said. You got the Ontario folks who would come from, say, Ottawa, who are
Yeah,
further away from the breweries that we were bringing in, and then you got the Quebec people who, if people didn't travel much, and this was during COVID too, which was even better, 2022. So
right.
when I say even better, in that people were traveling the least that they would typically travel. So
Yeah,
it's kind of, it was a perfect situation to give everybody a taste of something different and then bring them in, and maybe if they hadn't been to the brewery before, then they get to go down and go, oh man, this is so close, this is
yeah,
crazy, I should have been going. And then it puts people onto your stuff because obviously it's a tap takeover, but you're not getting you say 14 taps you have,
yeah. 14
16,
taps.
yeah.
Yeah,
So did you
14
do
taps.
all, do we do all four? I forgive me, I don't recall, but did we do all? I don't think we did 14 beers, right? We probably did like 6 to 8.
No, no, we did. What is it like? I think we brought in like from anywhere from 4 to 6, maybe beers back then.
And that's pretty good though. Like that's sick because
Yeah,
then people can
yeah,
still, you can fill out the gaps on the top because you don't want to like have, I don't know, 6 IPAs from an Ontario brewery and then nothing else for no
right.
crispies and no other the other styles that you can provide, which is money. So yeah, man, we should definitely talk after this about that because I think those were
Yeah,
really fun. And even now, I feel like I've got deeper relationships with a wider variety of
right,
places that could do stuff. And then if we plan it enough, then you can be able to get some collabs in as well. Like
right,
which I think I don't know. I think we wanted to do that, but I don't think we really got there with any of them. Is that are there
right. Well,
any
everything.
collabs?
I think like we're just two assholes in Quebec. That like I mean you had a bit more reach into Ontario because you were already doing some podcasts, but I don't think you were as like ingrained in it as you are now because obviously you're living in Ontario, so it's
Yeah.
way easier to connect with people and all that stuff. But yeah, it's just like I don't think we're quite there yet in the whole grand scheme of things. But
Yeah, I feel like you've really proven yourself though at this point. Whereas like people know you, people know the quality of what's like. I feel like you always mentioned in the conversations of the fire in Quebec. If people are coming through Quebec, this is where you need to go. I don't know. That's how I feel from the outside. Do you
yeah.
feel that? Do you see that or not? Coming in.
Yeah, I mean, more and more. I mean, even
Good.
ChatGPT now recommends us as places to go check out. So that's great. I didn't even have to pay it any money. It just knows. But
Yet.
yeah, I
Yeah. You
know.
fucks.
But yeah, no, it's great to be part of the conversation. I mean, like we've been trucking at it like it's going to be 8 years next year,
Crazy.
and I feel like it's been like I see like new breweries opening up, and like as soon as they open the door, like there's people in there, and it's like they don't have to like. I feel like they almost don't have to claw as hard as we did, but I knew opening up a brewery on a First Nations territory and all that stuff was going to be an uphill battle, and. I mean, we talked about this before, and but like the situation has greatly changed in the last 4 years since we spoke.
Mm.
Um, I mean, we're just like we got enormous growth year after year, and it's like
Good.
I mean, the restaurant's taken a good amount of portion of that, which is I mean, one thing can't live without the other, and that's great. Our kitchen does a fantastic job, so. Um,
That's so
a
true.
round of applause to them,
Hell yeah,
Um,
man. Fire.
but yeah, I mean, it's like everything kind of is just like working together, and we're just trying to make ourselves a destination for people and check as many boxes as we can for people. Like people just don't go out because they want to go out anymore. Like people go out because they need to like scratch an itch, and yeah, we just want to make sure they have like good food for a good value, drink some good beers. If somebody in their group wants a cocktail, we got that too, and we actually just started bringing in this year. Um, we have like a almost like a semi-exclusivity, but like we don't go through SEQ once again. But we're dealing with a winery from Niagara on the Lake. Um, so like we're all of our wine has completely been switched over to just this winery in Niagara, and yeah, it's just like it's
What's the winery?
what is this? There,
Can you say?
what's that?
What's the name of the winery?
Yeah, Rife Estate.
Oh, I think I know that. RIFE?
REIF.
REIF.
Yeah.
Okay, Niagara on the Lake. I've seen it because we're not far from there now, obviously.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's great, man. So you can bring in it. Otherwise, it would have been a whole pain in the dick if you had to go through the whole
Right.
SEQ. Yeah.
So we just tag along on another because they also supply wine to the casino down the road from us. So they have a bigger buying power, and it's like it merits them driving all the way from Niagara to here. So we just piggyback on their buying power, but bring in our stuff.
Hey, dude, whatever works, bro. Okay, I see where they're at. Yeah. Okay, so they're up on like the on the lake, on the river or whatever it is. Sorry, Niagara.
Yeah. I know shit about fuck when it comes to wine, but it tastes great. So that's all I can say about that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just off the. Okay, I know exactly where it is. Yeah. It's just off the main street there, like down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. All right, on the list. If I haven't, I'll ask Tiff. She'll remember a bit better than me. But she said say hi, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice. But that's sick. Okay, you got that. You said
I always feel weird saying like, "Oh, hi, Tiff," but she's not there.
She's not here. I'll be like, fast forward and you can watch it too. What would you say? I don't know if you want to. Did you finish your beer, or did I see you just poured more?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You finished it. All right, we can move to the next. And then because like you said that things had changed, and we did sort of talk about that off air, and I didn't know about it, and I told you not to tell me because we'd start talking. So I was like, tell me on air. But let's get the next beer going then, so we can do it. Do you want to do the Vienna?
Yeah, let's do the Vienna. That sounds good.
I'm excited for that. Fuck yeah. Crispy time. Viennas are like one of my favorite styles. Could rock them. Drink that shit every day. Let's fucking go. Look at this bloody ripper right here, ladies and gentlemen. Oof. Gorgeous. Just a bloke standing on a fucking whatever that is, a building, I guess. Love it. And this is a 5.2% Vienna Lager. Let's see. All here fresh for the Lager Week. Was this the first time you've done this one?
Lager Week or the Vienna?
Oh, the Vienna.
Oh no, Vienna we do probably about 2 times a year.
2 times a year. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you were mentioning the bloke on the column there.
Yes.
This is actually a real photo. That guy comes to our place all the time when he's not working in New York. This is a building that he was building or helping building, obviously, in New York. So he works for Local 40. He's an iron worker, and he's from Kahnawake. And his job, like what he's doing right there on the column, I don't know, my lighting is kind of shit here.
You got it.
He's standing there and he's waiting for a crane to bring another beam, and he's going to catch this like beam and he's going to connect them together.
That's insanity.
It is, because like that beam is not like 50 pounds or whatever. It's like fucking, I don't know, 50 tons or whatever shit it is. So
how does he do
crazy
it?
Shit.
How does he like
What's that?
that shit? How does he like?
Well,
I guess
it's
he
kind
just
of like
guides it in.
Yeah, he guides the what do you call the crane, and then it's just kind of hanging out there, so he's able to kind of swing it around as he needs and stuff like that. But
this is
they got a special tool to line up the 2 holes, and then he just puts a rivet through it.
That's crazy. Is this an old photo?
No, I just made it look old. But
how old is he?
Yeah. He must be in his 40s. Yeah.
All right. You made it. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's from like 1920 or something.
Yeah. No, this is probably taken like a couple of years ago, but
damn, that just seems dangerous, psychopathic, crazy.
Yeah, definitely not a thing that I would be doing.
No, not at all. Look at this head, mate. Get that in you. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Stunning. Oh my gosh. The
Okay.
that malt
I'm gonna have to
profile,
press
dude.
the pause button. I need a charger.
Charge it up, pause it. I'll keep
Yeah.
yapping in the meantime.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, this is spectacular. This has got such a great like caramel malt thing going on. The like nice grassy bitterness. The head is crazy. It's like that pillow. I can't really. You can sort of see it there. Like that pillowy meringue kind of head. Because sometimes Vienna's, I like this kind of like Vienna, like that more amber version. I know there's different kinds of Vienna lagers and different levels of the toasted malt or caramel malts. This is my preference. If I'm going to have it, I like to have. I think I've said on here before. Like if I'm drink this, what we just did is kind of like the perfect kickoff to a beer session for me, where you have like a blonde lager as such, and then like a darker lager. And this is the money. I love Vienna lager so much. Oh, this is fantastic. And look, there isn't based on. I mean, Drew confirmed, but I guess based on the number of check-ins on Untapped, it's a relatively new beer. I don't think it's something that would come out all the time. I imagine, but
Yeah, we come out with it once, at least once or twice a year. But Vienna
okay,
lagers are definitely not
like
a
Untapped sexy,
oh, yeah, sexy untapped thing. So
which is dumb. I hate that. I hate that lagers get hated on Untapped because lagers are the fucking best. I don't understand. It's like best lager I've ever had, 3.2. Like, shut up, man. Shut the fuck up. Pissing me the fuck off, dude. It's this is fantastic, man. Do you know off the top of your head the malts or any of the sort of ingredients in this little guy?
yeah. And
While you're sticking your stick that in there, mate. Stick that right in. Yeah, fix that up. Yeah, fuck yeah, you got it.
That's like the one thing I didn't check is battery power.
I was gonna say I don't think any phone without a charger would be able to last as long as we're about to talk without a charger.
Yeah. I think every time we talk, I need to find a charger.
Yeah, it's like just plug it in from the beginning.
Yeah. So Climber, yeah. So this recipe is like an old one and really hasn't changed. It's Vienna malt, Munich malt, and we add just a touch of chocolate malt, just to get that color. So
Okay. And any specific hops?
No, not really. We use Magnum for bittering, and then we use a bit of Saz to finish it off. But I don't know if that's really traditional per se, but that's what we do.
Okay. I don't give a shit.
Yes.
I just like to know this there. This is great, man. It's so balanced. The malt presence is money. It's big and great. What is it? 5.2.
5.2, yeah.
5.2. Crazy head. Really, the sweetness is perfectly balanced with the level of bitterness, like grassy herbal bitterness from the hops. It's beautiful. I love it. This is fantastic. I love I feel like Vienna lagers really do not get their props at all.
No, actually, the most amount of props that we get for this beer are from other brewers or just people who know about beer.
Yeah,
but mostly like whenever we're doing collabs and all that stuff, and this happens to be on tap, this ends up being kind of like the brewer's beer type thing. Like we've inspired a couple other places to even like dabble in doing that. Like for instance, we did a collab a couple years back with Toltec, and he had that, just fell in love with it, and then he went back to his lab and just started crushing out Viennas. And I'd say like his Vienna's probably maybe might be a little bit better than ours, man. Just love his Vienna. He loves our Vienna. I love his Vienna. So I guess it's a mutual thing, right?
Oh, that's amazing, dude. If you're able to inspire more breweries to do it, like that would be something that if I saw it on tap, I don't know if I'd be able to say no to that beer.
Right.
It's probably one, it's so fire. I always want to drink it. And you mentioned before, if you're going to go out, you want an experience. I always like to drink Crispies out, particularly if there's a Luca tap. Do you have any Lucas? You got any of them bad boys?
No, just because I don't trust my staff with them. That's all.
That's fair. You probably have to get new drip trays too, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, there's a learning curve to it, and we don't always have beers that merit the Lucre tap. So I just don't want to keep taking it off and putting it back on and stuff like that. So
I understand. It makes sense if that's the case. But yes, if I'm going out, that's definitely what I would like to sort of see. I like to drink the Crispies at least on tap.
Yeah.
Just because it's something that I don't get at home, and then if they got a Luca, I get extra bonus points just because. Whatever, it's fun. Dude, this is sick. So this is also available for Lager Week, so it comes back 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
But
I actually just got a notification that it actually just kicked. So,
okay.
so we're on to that the funky lager that I was talking about called Rich
On
Mahogany.
tap. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's sick that you have that on tap. That's fun.
The funky Munich Dunkel, as I like to call it.
Funky Dunkel. Hell fucking yeah, dude. That's amazing. Now, I started doing this maybe only in the last few months, and I should have been doing this the whole 10 years, but every time we drink a beer to let people know, hey, where can you get this product? And you alluded to something off air that had changed because, correct me if I'm wrong, but previously the only way to get your beers was direct from the brewery due to the same laws that allowed you to essentially bring in stuff from anywhere restricted you from selling off res. Is that
specifically
correct?
in Quebec too?
Specifically in Quebec. So could you sell in Ontario if you wanted to?
I could sell to Ontario, believe it or not. But I can't sell within Quebec.
Which obviously there's stores like our friend Kevin at La Canette always wants to stock your stuff, and he could never do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So talk to me. What's changed? Because that is
so it's actually been a project that we've been doing for pretty much a year to this day. We have bounced around from brewery to brewery, well, just twice. But we started doing some contract brewing because we hired a legal firm or some lawyers to take a look at our situation and how can we get off the territory. Um, and then just with all the legal red tape, like with the territory, like the council sort of wanting their own jurisdiction, and then Quebec wanting their jurisdiction and the taxes and all that stuff. We're kind of like we're stuck in the middle of like a political war. So the only option that we really saw was to contract brew. Now, contract brew was always, I guess, something that people frowned upon or whatever like that. But in our case, it's like, well, we do have a location. We do brew, 1,500 hectoliters just per year, just from our own location and selling in the couple of spots that we do around the territory. And like I mentioned, golf courses before, that those are kind of huge in the summer for us. But yeah, mostly from our own door. So then. So we explored the avenue of contract brewing. We're pretty new at it, so we did a good amount of research with the RACJ and the brewery that we're going to work with. And it was my buddy Trevor at Livingstone.
Hell yeah.
So we started doing some small batches, really just to target, well, not target like specifically, but like just to sort of appease the demand of like 5 or 6 places around us, and then really just surrounding the territory. And that was kind of like also like a little bit of a strategic like marketing plan for us too, because that would open up the eyes to like their clientele to come to our place and so on and so forth.
Of course.
And that was working out really well. We fulfilled our contract with Trevor, and we moved on. We needed a bit more volume, and unfortunately, Trevor is well, he's having the year of his career right now too. So we're kind of fighting over like tank space. He's only got a couple of tanks, anyways. So it's like we need to move to another location. So I contacted some old friends from the Montrealers that you mentioned before, and so I contacted Sean and Renault at Avant Garde, and now we're currently brewing with them. So we did so far we did 2 batches. One of All Right, our hazy pale ale, which does like super well. It's probably, if not our top seller, it might be our very close, like it's a second top, but very close to first.
What's the first?
Mains
Bridge?
Bridge, yeah.
Bridge.
KBC. And then we did Beast. And why did we not do Bridge for the sort of like outside world? Just because a blonde premium lager or whatever like that is it's a craft lager. May not be the sexiest thing when people go into like what do you call it, dépanneur spécialisé, like a beer store, like a dépanneur, that convenience store that specializes in beers. So we went with Beast, which is I mean, it's won a fair share of awards and all that stuff, and then it's our number three seller. So let's just go with that. And it's just been it's been crazy. Like, we were just going through our inventory right now, because like this time, contrary to when we're dealing with Livingstone, we're trying to do as much stuff ourselves and with Trevor and all that stuff. But this time we're just like, all right, fuck it, we got to get our hands off this. Like, we're gonna, especially with so much volume, what are we gonna do with this? Like, we can't sell all this to the five or six places. So we started working with a distributor. We're on Pivo Hub. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a yeah, it's a really nice platform online to sell beer. I mean, there's other things besides beer on there, but yeah. So we decided to go that route, and it's been pretty cool, actually. Like, we were starting to see our beers pop up in all four corners of Quebec. So
No
that's
shit. That's amazing, dude.
and even like within like we've only been doing this for a little bit more than a month, and we're already seeing like places that are reordering. So it's like, shit, man. It's like our stuff
It's
works
moving.
in fucking Rimouski or whatever, like a place that would be like 9 hours to get there.
Yeah.
So
That's exciting,
yeah,
man. Congrats.
yeah,
That's really smart. Sean and Renault are fucking awesome, and their space is amazing. They're
yeah,
really like on point with what they do. So like that's a great, and I think they're a fantastic choice, because I don't know if you remember, but Sean worked at Oshlag
yeah,
as the brewer whilst he was, so Renault had jukebox, and then they started Avant-Garde together, Renault and Sean, while Sean
yeah,
was working at Oshlag, but in Quebec. And I learned it's not the same in Ontario, because I knew the Quebec rules first. But you probably know this, but for people who might not know, like if you're contracting with someone like you as Drew, you can't go to Avant-Garde and touch anything that they're doing for you. You're not allowed to do
right,
it, only the employees. So very conveniently, Sean had a brewery that was contracting, and he was the fucking guy who worked for the brewery that was doing the contract work.
yeah,
So he could make his shit exactly how he wanted to, as well as do the jukebox stuff. And so when they moved in the same building to their own space, and combined it all, it's so smart, because they already had that experience of being the contractor, contracting out, and then now with their own space. So I feel, and they have a lot of skill set across the breadth of styles, um,
yeah.
in really, really high level, like in high quality. So I think
Right.
they're great fucking guys, and I love that. That's
That
awesome. I'm
was
very
pretty
happy.
much how we evaluated like our
Okay.
our choices as well. Like, I mean, not to mention that I've known them for a long time, but they come from, like, they started as contract brewers. Like, fun fact, I used to like help out Renault for his jukebox brand at like Mondial de la Bière, like serving beers for him
No
as a
shit.
volunteer and stuff like that. So,
That's awesome.
um, like, I mean, these guys started as contract brewers and grew into it. So it's like I couldn't put my hands in I couldn't put my beers in better hands. Like you said, these guys brew excellent beers, and they range across the styles. So we had like, you know um even if we wanted to come out with this Vienna lager, at a much bigger scale and all that stuff, like, I know they can do it.
Oh,
I
for
know they can pull it
sure.
off. They can pull off the hops. I mean, obviously, in this the last beer brews that we did with them, we went more in the hop things, and we're very nervous because it's like really uh like it's like triple the size of like what we do, or maybe even four times the size of what we do. So it's like we had to like sort of like s- scale up our recipes to their system, and
Right.
also just like make sure that they're doing the same thing that we would be doing, but it's like, is what we're doing at their scale translate the same way. um I mean, we
Did it?
matched up I think we got pretty goddamn close, to be honest. Like, I'm very happy with what came out. We went there on canning days, just to get them straight off the line and all that stuff. We even brought our own and like just kind of compared them and everything like that. And like we got pretty goddamn close. Like we matched up water profiles like from Kahnawake to Montreal. Like we went down. We brought in they don't have the same grain supplier. We brought in our own grains.
Oh, that's great.
We
That's
brought in our own
awesome.
lots of hops and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's like we tried to get it as close as possible.
I love that attention to detail. And I forgot. Actually, no, I know who it is. I won't say, but someone told me recently they would basically have that same thing in the contract. The brewery that was brewing it used a different supplier and didn't want to change suppliers. And then when they showed them the other grain, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like they didn't even
Yeah,
know how fire the other grain can be. So it's cool because you could even introduce Sean and Renault to your supplier, and they might be like, obviously those guys know what's up. They make all the
yeah.
styles. So I love that whole thing and the fact that you're able to sort of figure that out, to dial it into that level of like anal fucking detail from
Well,
the water
and
to,
and then being open to anal, because
those boys are, trust me.
uh,
Sean, he loves it.
yeah,
Shout out
but
Sean. I miss him.
but like I mean, they could have just turned around and said like, "No, fuck you, dude. Like, we're just gonna use what we buy and that's it." Like, but they were cool enough to use what we do, so and bring in our lots of hops and stuff like that. So
Gangster. I love it.
yeah, I mean that's great. Like we're always talking about collaborations, and in terms of like making a beer, but like I mean, this is like another level of collaboration because they came down, they tried our beers straight off tap, and they're like, okay, like we got some homework to do because you guys know what you're doing. So
Yeah.
um and yeah, so it was a great collaboration with all of us to get it going.
That's awesome. I like the way you framed that. Like that's a different type of collaboration because that's exactly what it is. It's
Yeah,
collaboration at the purest sense because it's not. Tell me if this is true. So you said it's like 4 times the size. You don't just 4x everything. It doesn't work like that. It's like some sort of it's different. It's ratios as opposed to like just 4x or
right.
whatever. And yeah,
Exactly.
is that correct?
It's ratios and it's trying to match up like, theoretical numbers sometimes,
It is
like
theoretical, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, like we didn't know how like sort of I mean they know their system and they went off something like that, and it was great that we're doing like a second beer because we're able to like, okay, we didn't quite get that, so we're gonna modify that to get to the second one.
Okay.
And so it was like, yeah, it was I mean, but I feel like after one shot, like we already dialed it in. There was like
Mm,
no testing period to this. So
right.
got to jump into the pool
Yeah,
willy
I
nilly.
mean, you kind of, yeah, you don't really have a choice when it's that size. You gotta like fucking put your balls on the line immediately. But
Yeah,
that is so fire. So so it was Beast and all right. Is that
yeah,
correct? Yep.
yeah,
And those are now available. So like retail, if there are any like specialty beer store owners or buyers watching
yeah.
or listening, they can actually now buy your shit through Pivo Hub. And
That's right.
for the drinkers, the thirsty boys and girls out there, they can go to specialty beer stores anywhere in Quebec off res, and they can, if it's not there, they can ask for it, and now it can actually they can acquire
Could
it.
actually get it. Yeah, yeah.
That's I think it is exciting. I know you're sort of saying that the days of sort of hype are maybe gone, and maybe they are to a degree, but from I don't think so completely. I think that there's still a thirst for new with New England IPAs. And say if
True.
you mentioned Ramuski for an example, they've got obviously the catch out there who are fucking goaded.
Yeah,
But like everyone wants, doesn't matter who's next door, you still want to try something different or new to you. So
yeah.
they would have to drive, like you said, 8 or 9 hours to res to get your stuff. But now they can get fresh beast and all right from their
That's it.
local store out there. And that's pretty amazing, dude. And it just opens
Yeah.
the brand up and opens up the I always liked the Quebec system because the Ontario system was never as they've tried, but it's not the same. Like the
Good.
Quebec system with the specialty stores everywhere, that's sort of like what is it, 3 to 5,000 points of sale across the province. something crazy like that. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
But the
yeah, I'd
DBS
say
two
there's
shit,
like probably like 500 like or like at least 400 to 500 like sort of guaranteed spots type thing.
like specialty, who know their
Specialty,
stuff and will store it properly
exactly. Yeah,
and have
yeah,
your products alongside other similar quality of products in that category type shit. Like they'll put you
right.
with the other fire haze and stuff, which is like, all right, I'm coming into a store and I'm trying to get a dozen cans right now, and I want 12 different things. Like, oh, sick! And you put it right next to
Yeah,
name it. Quebec has so much fire, so I think it's great for you, man. I think it's so cool. That's got to
yeah.
be
I mean, the thing
exciting.
that's really been fun too is that like we even get messages like from certain stores. It's like we're putting through an order. Please accept it. Like here's pictures of our store and like um and like
Like
I mean
selling you.
dude, there's stores that I'm like the store is in a cold room and I'm like what the fuck like the like it was like this giant walk-in like kind of like going to like the I've been to like an LCBO that was like I don't know if all the LCBOs are like that, but you walk
Most of
into
them,
like
yeah.
this cooler room and they had like shelves in like
Yep.
rows in a
Hmm.
cold room. And but I mean like that shit doesn't happen in Quebec. Like that's
No,
whoever the
I've
owner of
never
that
seen that.
is, like sunk some serious cash in that. But it's like, yeah, you're gonna be like it took me a second to even like figure out the picture because I'm like, this just looks like a store. Where's the cold storage? And then I realized that I saw like the big fan units and all that stuff on the ceiling. I'm like,
You're like,
fucking Christ,
oh.
that like the store is the fridge. I'm like, that's crazy.
The whole store is that I can't say I've seen the whole store. That most LCBOs do have like a craft, like slight like opening doors, like the automatic doors,
Yeah,
and a full section. The craft is the big wall at the back, and they got the macros and the little aisles in between. And I've
yeah,
seen there's one I go to in Buffalo that has they've got stuff on shelves, and some of the stuff they have on shelves should not be on shelves because they have this massive cold room where you walk in and you get for even in the
yeah.
middle of summer you kind of need a jacket because you just got you walking through, you just like holding yourself, you're like, all right, you got this shit, all right, this other half, yeah. it's it's dope, but it's annoying, but I appreciate it. And it's fine in winter because I've got a jacket on anyway, so you just walk in and it's kind of fine. But in summer,
Yeah,
it's like, oh Jesus Christ.
yeah,
But yeah, I love that. I love that because that was the one thing that was always like a bit of a pet peeve across. Doesn't matter, you name it, where every place has stores that mishandle styles. If I ever see haze like on LCBO shelves or something that aren't in the fridge, I'm just like, I feel like snitching and like taking a picture and sending it to the brewery owner or something. Like, look at these
yeah.
fucks. Look what they're doing to your shit, bro. Like, um, that's so cool. That means you've got. So where do you think the fact that they're reaching out to you to be like, please accept the order,
Yeah.
which is very cute. That means my understanding of this would be that your reputation has to the point where the quality of the beers has that rep has gotten out there across the province, and they haven't been able to get it beforehand. Now they finally can. They're really excited to get it, and because the reputation precedes itself. Is that a fair? Is that why they would be so excited about it? Like,
I mean,
I know you
yeah,
won't speak
probably.
common,
I
but
mean, we starved these people for 8 years, or 7 years before we even got out there. Well, it was six realistically, but yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe the words got out, and I mean, there's always people traveling around, especially like sort of like since COVID. People have been more traveling like within their province and all that stuff. So, um, maybe people came down on vacation down Montreal and
brought some stuff or checked it
like
out.
got recommended to go down to our place and then loved our beers, brought some back home, and then told their local beer store like, "You guys got to get this shit." And it's just like we can't.
Mm.
So I don't know. Maybe there's like kind of been a demand there that we haven't been able to fulfill, and that's why it's kind of like sort of like hypey, I guess. But I don't know. We take it one day at a time. So
Yeah, no, it's good. It would be cool to like trace that demand and to find out where that came from.
yeah,
Just for market research purposes, to be like, all right, because maybe there's other opportunities, and it's probably what you said. It's probably like people from out there or vacate Montreal, check it out, and be like, "Fuck, this is fire!" Boom, boom, boom. But
yeah.
if there's other
I'm not
ways that,
snitching anybody, but I have seen our beers pop up in stores thanks to Untapped, in remote places in Quebec, when we shouldn't have been there. So
Nice. No
they
snitch, no
somebody
snitch.
came down, bought a case, put it on the shelf, and took a chance. But
I mean, what's the chances that someone would inspect that and ask how they got it?
I don't know.
Do you just if could you just put those little Quebec stickers on the can? Don't you have to have that shit? And you're like, oh,
Like it's fucking mayonnaise.
yeah. Don't you have those stickers? Not those, not that. You know those fucking ones that like I've seen people do it in breweries. Like, say if we're about to open a can at a brewery or something, they like, oh wait, and you got to put the sticker on the can. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, maybe you don't have to deal with it because you're on the res. You know what I'm talking about? There's like it looks like a price tag size. Like it's like a white price tag.
So
and
so
it's got a
that's
number.
dead though. That's dead.
Oh, they killed that.
They killed that September 1st.
Oh, thank God. That shit sucked.
Yeah.
That was so annoying for people.
Yeah. Well, that
What
was the
that
thing
called?
because there was like it was CSP sticker.
CSP. Okay, what does that stand for?
Yeah. Consommation sur place. So drinking on premise.
That's exactly why when I'm about to pop it local, they're like, no, wait, just put this on real quick first. If it was something fresh that didn't have the sticker on it, and they seemed like people seemed genuinely like stressed about making sure that sticker was on the can.
Well, yeah, because you can get like a pretty hefty fine, but that's like an archaic thing because there used to be like a multi-tiered tax system to that. So, but like many years ago, they changed it so that beer would just be one tax in Quebec. So like these stickers just were like useless. There was no multi-tiered tax thing to worry about.
So just wasting people's time doing bureaucratic, arbitrary bullshit.
For sure.
Right. Okay, that's interesting though. But now they can get it legally. God damn it.
Yeah.
They can get that shit. Oh man, that's cool stuff. So do you have plans on? I know we're gonna get next beer, but do you have if you can speak to it, you don't have to. Are you gonna try and like? I guess there's two sort of paths here. You could keep a Ride and Beast and keep dialing it in to get it as perfect as possible, which sounds like you said, the second time you basically nailed it at Avant-Garde, and really grow those two brands in the market, in the distro market. Or do you think you're sort of in the shorter term want to add more, one or two different SKUs in, whether it's more IPAs or something else?
Yeah.
Like, is there any sort of thinking there?
I mean, the feedback that we've gotten from multiple stores is that that they kind of wish that we came out with like at least 3 to 5 different SKUs, because when they put us on a shelf, they want you to take up a portion of the shelf. When you have like just 2 products, you're kind of just like sort of lost.
That's a fair point.
So they wanted a couple of like other ones.
Is that even practical for you?
I don't know. We're still discussing internally because this is all very new to us, and we're taking a very like everything I've done, and you've known this because you've been to the place back when we opened. But I like taking shit step by step. And it might not be the most efficient way of doing things, but to me, it just like let's do something, let's prove that it works, and then we build upon that, and then prove that works, and then so kind of like still taking that same idea. For sure, All Right has been just crushing it like across the board for us. So I mean, that's definitely coming back. Beast does like still really well. It's just I'm skeptical of like the longevity of things. Like are people like still in that rapid fire things? I mean, there's breweries that exist that you know of, that like every week they're coming out with like 3 to 5 new beers, and they never brew the same beer twice. So it's like, is that still a thing? I think that kind of hurts the sort of like drinkers market, especially now in like the sort of economy. People have a little less money in their pockets, like they're going to the things that they know. So I think, to me, having like like I remember I was on the podcast, I forget, I think it was the one that we did with like Maddie
Matt and Noah.
and Noah and all that stuff. And I remember you said it in particular, is like, you're like one of the few guys that I know who has core beers. And then, whereas like a lot of the breweries that we're talking about at that particular time was just coming out with new beers every week, almost every day. But it's like you still have like the same four beers, and then you throw in the other things, and it's just like, my response to that was like, well, our clientele would burn this motherfucker down if we don't have those four beers. So we built that following around those beers, but then so it's kind of like, I feel like it's come full circle, like with people having a little less money in their pockets to going to the beers that they know.
Yes.
So then it goes back to having the core beers. Like maybe it's like, I don't know, I had this like sixth sense that it's just like, shit, we should build core beers because maybe one day this is gonna like be a thing. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's a hard question to answer. That you said, like, are we gonna come out with more stuff? Definitely, we're coming out with more stuff. Are we gonna keep going with some of the same stuff that we already came out with? Probably, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That it makes sense. Only thing I would add, I think that was 2021, that conversation. Since then, I have seen a lot of breweries in, say, just speaking Canadian, like Ontario and Quebec, that were in the camp of never releasing the same thing twice back then,
Yeah.
have started to bring things back over the last, basically since then, in the last maybe 2 to 3 years. I'm
Yeah.
seeing like iterations of the beer that they would bring. It's not like they bring it back all the time, not like a flagship, but there's a bunch of some have got flagships now, I guess. But yeah, like I've seen the Catch do it, I've seen Meso do it, I've seen Brewski do it, like bring back faves, I guess, the people liked, and
Yeah.
then and tweak them a little bit. Whereas previously they wouldn't have even bothered doing that. They were just always probably on that new train, and then they were probably, as brewers, like, all right, fuck man, how long can this go for? Let's go find some of the ones that did really well that we really loved as a team, and then let's make them a
Yeah.
bit better. Give them a tweak, maybe add some stuff, take some stuff away, whatever. So
Well, you
yeah,
mentioned Catch and Brewski. I think what they're more doing is running off like permutations of like a brand that is not necessarily that works, but also that's like fun for them. So get like Catch would have the Dock
the
series.
dog.
So every time he's making up a new combination of hops, or he wants to try a different thing, basically taking that same base recipe, but then adding like the new hop varieties or hop products that come out or whatever like that. There's some that he has brought back, I think.
Yes. That's
Um,
100. I was about to add that. Yes, there's recently,
yeah,
which was like, oh,
yeah,
like say from some, he's up to like 130 something, but I think he might have brought back some from the 20s or whatever the fuck,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. And then I know Brewski's doing something similar with uh, it's not a single hop series, but it might be a single hop series. I'm not too
Yeah,
sure. That
or
was
oat cream or something. Those ones I think they bring back,
yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
But yeah, I think it's like there's but I mean, you can talk to Derek about that. It's just like every summer they got to come back with a wit beer because of where they are. They're downtown. Sorry, they're like,
old point.
you know, center of old Montreal. People want their wit beers in the summer. So he's
Yeah.
he's he's kind of like it or not. I think we're coming full circle about like the having those flagships, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's definitely a different market than when we spoke with the boys. Like total
Yeah,
different vibes, which is cool. I know it's nice. It's different for a change. It's cool, and I think we need a beer. That's what I think.
yeah,
True. What do you reckon?
that's good.
What are we feeling? What are we doing now?
Uh,
Now we're in no man's land. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, I mean, we could stick with Crispies. I mean, we got that smoked amber lager. We got the funky amber lager, funky Dunkel Munich Dunkel. Sorry,
Yeah,
or we just go off the train here.
off the train. Well, I'm open to all the above because I feel like everything sounds fucking amazing, and there's some. I definitely am keen for some haze at some point. But
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm down to do another lager if you want to do another lager since we're doing this shit.
I will do something actually in the middle. You
Okay.
want to do the Alabaster Wings, which would be a hoppy saison. So it's kind of
Okay.
like somewhere in the middle of that.
Yes. Oh, come on.
as much as I wanted to savor a bottle on a podcast, might save that one for later.
Are we gonna save one? Seriously? That'd be gangster. Only where is it? There it is. Only like Quebec people do that. I found. I've only done it in Quebec. My friend did it, and he gave me. We did it with the axe. And I got to do it one time, and he gave me the axe. I have it next to our bed just in case of emergencies. And it was good. I nailed it the first time, but I haven't done it since. I don't know what my problem is. I don't know why I wouldn't do. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the beer, Hoppy Saison. Whoa, hang on. There we go. Come on, yours is clear. Why is mine not clear? Come on, you dickhead. There you go.
Dickhead.
You fucking dickhead. And this bad boy. So this is a 6%. Oh, collab with Memphré. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's a collab with my buddy Eric at
Okay.
Le Memphré. And they're actually moving into a new space, so I'm very excited for them to get into that new space and go down there and check it out.
Same area in Magog still?
Yep. They're
Is that a cool place?
I don't want to say too much. I don't know if that's public knowledge.
Public yet? Okay, cool. Well, I'm happy for them,
but yeah, they let go of their production facility, and they're moving into another space that's, from what I understand, like a little bit more downtown and all that stuff. They already got a great location with Le Memphré, and yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that place was really cool. It was right off that bridge, right by the border and stuff. Like,
yeah,
really nice in the summer, cozy in the winter. Shouts to them. So Hoppy Saison, this is this something that you guys have you guys done many saisons before? Yeah, grab that in. Get that in my. I'm gonna take some photos.
So yeah, this is a funny story.
I guess you've done like the fruited ones and stuff like that, right? Like the bottles.
Man, I think I could have counted how many saisons I did on one hand if I chopped off 3 fingers. But yeah, this summer, you know, the boys in the brewery, Keegan and Sam, they were kind of barking up the tree of like, hey, let's do like let's do a saison. You know, I'm like, I don't know, like I'm not a big fan of like Belgian beers in general.
Right.
Now I know saison was arguably Belgian or French or whatever like that, but I'm not like a big fan of all those kind of styles and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, man, like I'm not brew something up and let's see if it works. So they brewed something up just for tap, and it actually like absolutely crushed. So like, all right, well, maybe that was a fluke. Let's do it again. So they did it again, and this time we put it in cans, and it was called Acrophobia. It was actually the first beer that we put in like the new designs with the big lettering on the side and the nice visuals up front and everything like that. And so it was like, all right, so we put it in there, and once again it crushed. So it was like, man, we didn't even have to explain to anybody what a saison was, and it just like, I guess people just tried it on tap, just loved it, and crushed it. So naturally, I mean, I've been talking to Eric probably for a couple of years about doing a collab, and it's just like we did one down at Memphré. When did that come out? I feel like it came out sometime this year, but we brewed it last year because it was a like a funky, like a foeder IPA. So they did like this like base beer that was aged in their foeders for I don't know how many months, maybe like let's say 6 months, and then we just dry hopped the tits out of it with I know there was Galaxy in there. There was probably some other stuff that we threw in there, and then but they bottled it, and it still got a good amount of bottles. I should have actually shipped through enough to you for that. But yeah, it was really cool, and I'm like, I like this. Like, let's do something along the same lines, but we're not going to foeder age it. I don't have a foeder, and not too keen on that either. But so Eric actually came down with a Belgian strain of wit beer yeast, and then I think we sourced the saison yeast. So we did kind of like a co-pitch thing, something that he likes to do with his saisons. So the Belgian wit yeast kind of gives it a little bit of that fruitiness, that punchiness up front, and then dials way back, and then the saison yeast, we introduced that a couple of days later, and then that dries it the fuck out, and you get like that white pepper note from the saison yeast. But and then we dry hopped it. Let me just pull that up while I'm talking, because I forget what we dry hopped it with.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Um, but yeah, it
Is it
was.
what's that fucking hop that's got the why is this
Oh yeah,
escaping me? It's like a hop that's got like that piney grassy. Oh, everything's piney grassy. Why am I? It's like a lemon grassy hop. Lemongrass hop. It's escaping me. It's like a weird. It's one that's not very common.
Oh,
Oh, come on. It's got two words. It might be named after like a place or something.
yeah.
Why is it escaping me? Fucking. I'm just trying to Google like lemongrassy hops. It's the one flavor. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Trying to think of it though. That's not Sriracha Ace.
That's the one. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
I don't know why that. Look at that you got there. But that type of vibe is what I'm getting from this.
So yeah. So it's funny because the hop that we used, it was actually selected and assembled by a bunch of female brewers in Quebec. They all got together with a hop farm out here called Duke 25. Probably a lot of people in Ontario know them as well.
They love me out here, yeah.
But and they got a bunch of female brewers together, and then started rubbing hops, and they built a blend, and they called it Duchess 25 because it's Duke 25. So Duchess 25. I'm on their website right now. It doesn't say what was mixed in there. But the characteristics, you hit it though, with the lemongrass, because characteristics are lemon, citrus, clementine, anise with a hint of pine. So there you go. You checked all the boxes.
Basically, BJCP fucking god at this point.
Fucking.
Wow,
perfect. Yeah. So so Alabaster Wing was actually dry hopped with just brewed and dry hopped with the Duchess 25 blend.
Love it. It's this is great. I don't drink this style as much as I should, and whenever I do get to drink a saison, I'm always like, I should fucking drink this more. It's so nice. It's bright, effervescent, aromatic. Really like super dry, like bone dry.
Oh yeah.
So clear.
That shit is like 0 sugar, man. There's fuck all left in there. Yeah.
It's just like so bright and so crushable. You're right. This is like a nice actual transition from lagers to hoppier beers.
This pushed our canning line to the limit on that, because I think this is like the highest carbonation we've ever canned in. But we wanted it spritzy, like a good saison, man, is like you grab that shit from a bottle and it's just like champagne, so like
absolutely.
We can't get that close in a can, but we tried to push it up there.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I can only imagine how annoying that would kind of be dealing with this. But yeah, super high carb, big burp factor, but that's exactly what you want from the style. It's completely on for the style. The mouthfeel is perfect. It is money. This is fantastic. So the nice little bit of bitterness in it. And the thing is, I always fucking hated saison whenever like a brewery just put out like a saison, unless that was your jam and that's what you did. I feel like back in the day, it always fucked me up because so many breweries would do it, and it would just be this big, that clovey, banana-y kind of mess. Then you've got something that's so clean like this, and I just wish more things were like this coming up, because I feel like you either love them or you hate them, and I feel like I was turned off on them, and which sucks because there's so many great ones I probably missed out on, because maybe I just had a bunch of ones that I didn't particularly like in the earlier days. But this is exactly where it kind of should be for a nice cat. Like, it's not like a bottle that's like a full fucking, food, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like something that's sort of more, because I feel like those ones, you always get them and you kind of sit on them for a bit. You know how it go. Whereas like a can, you're just like, it's made for crushing. What do you want me to do? Wait?
Exactly.
Hell no.
See, I guess I was always kind of like a little bit apprehensive of kind of brewing these saisons, because I had a very like kind of strict guideline of like what I was looking for. I want them bone dry, but to me, like the goats of like saison and not like I would be I'm not the gatekeeper of this style, but I just love shilling. You've been to
Mm.
shilling, and
Haven't been, but I've had many of their beers. I haven't had the. I've only had Crispies. I haven't had their saisons.
okay, well, I mean, to me, like I can think about there was a time that me and my friend were down there for the Vermont Brewers Fest. So we did like this sort of like New England
Yes.
beer tour, and
Fuck
we
yeah.
ended up at Stilling before going to the Brewers Fest, and we got growlers, like a whole bunch of growlers of their
Old school.
oh yeah. I think they were on like a one barrel system too. Like it was super tiny back then, but they had like the what I would call like just like the perfect saisons. And like I'm not a BJCP judge on saisons, but I just liked it how like it was like grainy, gritty, and just like bone ass dry, and but like still had this like incredible flavor and all that stuff. And to me, that was like if I can't reproduce that, then I'm not fucking doing this style. And that's kind of like where I guess they gave me like PTSD on that shit because I just didn't.
Dude, that makes sense. Like, if you aren't going to make them to exactly what you had in mind for the brewery in the beginning,
Right.
and yeah, like I get it. And it's like I'm particular too. I always hated my. It wasn't until a Hill Farmstead put me on, and I was like, all right, this is what I like. And then I feel like I've had more Hill Farmstead than I've had like Orval. Orval is just like a white whale. Like very rarely get it. But when you
Yeah.
do get it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I'm talking about. And then my mate went to Vermont recently and got me a bunch of bottles from Hill, so I've been drinking a little bit of that recently. I'm like, oh, good lord. And then Barrel Heart here in Ontario has been phenomenal for that. Like you go there, and I like going there. They got a Michelin guide restaurant inside. You can't just walk in. You have to have a reservation to go to a brewery now. It's crazy.
Oh Jesus! What?
But they only do farmhouse stuff. Everything's barrel aged farmhouse,
Okay.
and I like to go there. I haven't gone there as much since the Michelin thing because it's a bit more of an ordeal. But I like to go there because I'm like I can't go to my usual ways and drink a fucking haze and da-da-da.
Right.
Like I have to drink it. So it's a nice it's like sick, man. I love drinking, and I feel like you really did this. Do you feel this to me is like this is a type of farmhouse that I could drink very regularly. It ticks all the boxes for me because it doesn't or almost more it doesn't have the things that I dislike. It's got well at the same time having all the things that I do like with that bone dryness and that beautiful like balanced like bitterness with the citrusy kind of things and that barnyard funk and all of that. Did this live up to your shilling standards that you were looking for?
Yeah, and it does, and even the two iterations before it. Now it's not the same recipe, or maybe not even the same strain
Yeah.
of yeast that we use, but it did. The guys in working in the back who brewed this instilled confidence that it's like we're not getting like a saison that's too wet. I don't like
Wet.
wet saisons like too the non bone dry ones.
I hadn't thought of
That's what I
them
mean
as
by
wet,
wet.
but yeah, that's
Opposite
awesome.
of dry, wet.
Yeah, it makes complete
Um,
sense. It is a liquid, but
yeah, I don't like it
yeah,
too
yeah,
moisty.
yeah.
So
Only other things moist. I get it. I get it. I get it, big Doug.
um but yeah, no, like this it really had to be bone dry, and I think everybody was on the same page of that. And I think if they were going to sell me the idea of brewing this particular style because they knew that I was not too keen on it, I think they really pushed the envelope on it to get it down there and get it dry. So very happy the way it came out. Actually, I was just drinking this with Eric from La Memphré last week, and he was like, this is really
Ready?
fucking good. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's always nice when you do a collab and the other person signs off on it. So
Oh, of course, yeah,
um,
because you never know how she can go. Totally. How is
yeah.
it received in the tap room?
Yeah, I mean it does fairly well. I mean with 14 taps, like it could go
You
all
got
over the
some
place. And
breadth.
then
Yeah.
we had some like events, like we're talking about Lager Day and all that stuff. Like obviously whoever's coming in for this particular beer might get detracted because there's like four invite taps coming in. So Yeah, it's done fairly well. I wouldn't say it's like it's top tier, but I wouldn't say it's bottom either. So it's somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Is
And
this
then
a
also the weather thing too. Like I feel like
this is a summer vibe maybe?
yeah, like the two that we did during the summer just crushed because I mean, drinking this in the sun. I mean, are you kidding me? Like that just yeah, that's
Absolutely.
just. I mean, just with its pale color and just approachability and all that stuff, I think that just like checked a lot of boxes for some people. So
And this would be a
yeah,
perfect food because your food was exceptional. When we went in 2018, we did that first pod. I still like the pizzas that we had because me, you, Em, and Scott and Tiff, we got pretty lit up afterwards having a bunch of pizzas.
yeah,
And those was so good. And when we went down in April, May, in the beginning for the collabs for our anniversary, we popped. Obviously,
yeah,
the things that we've done, we just popped into. Me and Noah came by, and we're having some yum, and it was coming up to Cinco de Mayo. So the
yeah,
chef was putting together some stuff and brought it out just because they were fucking around with some different ideas. I'm like, damn,
yeah,
that shit was fire. So your kitchen is so great. So I can imagine that a bone dry beer like this would literally like name it and it goes with. I couldn't think of a meal that this wouldn't go with. It'd just be so refreshing,
yeah,
even in when it's fucking -40 Montreal bullshit outside.
yeah,
It still would be money. So I'd imagine this would go really well with food. Yeah, even if there's no
yeah,
snow.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which is good. So is this something that you want to like iterate on and kind of nail, or is it kind of like
I'm still like backing away from
yeah,
um it's definitely like it's like I'll have this beer if I kind of think about it, but it's not really like one that I gravitate to. So naturally, when I'm thinking about like what are we going to put on tap next, it's not really something I'm gravitating to. But
fair?
no, I mean I think it's great summer option. Like I think definitely bring it back in like spring and summer. That it definitely has its place. I don't think -40 outside is the right time, but I
No,
mean I
maybe
could be
not.
wrong.
Well,
People have proved me wrong before, so.
and look, Quebec is like a. I'm checking the weather in Montreal right now because even here it's brick, dude, which is actually fucked. It's like -10, feels like -14. Ugh, God, fuck you, bitch. What is it, Montreal?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Montreal's warmer, -9. Feels like -19. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was gonna say my car all day has been saying like -9, -10, but it's like honestly -30 outside. Like
Ugh,
the
God,
wind
I
is
don't.
so shit right now.
If I'm honest, Drew, I don't miss it. I don't miss the winters. And it's not even that much better. Some winters here have
Yeah.
been like I think I didn't even wear boots. There was no snow. It was nothing. It was chill. And then
Yeah.
it's on and off. It's been pretty cold already. So it's fucking boo.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Saisons. I totally get it. This is but it's cool to see. For me, I think it's dope to see the um breadth of skill set that you and the team have. Like Keegan and Sam are champions, like such good dudes, and you guys have really got like such a fire team of great brewers. Like even if we want to just like pivot into some of the collabs that we've done, because I don't know since it's been like 4 full years since you and I have done like a proper pod.
Yeah.
Um, we've done a bunch of collabs. Like I feel like you might even be the brewery we've done the most collabs with, probably as far as volume, because you're with the shits more than anybody. Like you are down for the dumbest stuff. And I just want to like we can go through some of them, but the latest one we did, this was for your 7th anniversary in April this year, which was kind of great
Yeah.
timing but you were still gracious enough to do another collab for our 10th anniversary like a month and a bit later.
Yeah.
This is one we did, and we've got like an annual tradition, which we'll talk about this. So it's Kahnawake, BAOS, Nathan Does Beer, Vox and Hops, and Beerism. So it's like squad. And we did this beautiful gem, which is such a phenomenal design. I love your 7th anniversary designs. It's absolutely spectacular. And
Yeah,
this one's called.
we set the bar for ourselves really goddamn high now.
Oh yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up for 2026, buddy. It's just about to be crazy. And this is obviously with raw BSG as well, and called Reduced to Maya, and everything was something 0.7% because you had the 7th anniversary, which is something I'd never
Right.
seen before. That was fucking marketing genius. Love, love, love it. And this was the weirdest fucking beer on paper, but it was so phenomenal. A red West Coast IPA with a unique yeast from Rye BSG, which was the first time anyone got to use it. Is that correct?
It was a malt that they brought in.
Oh, it was a malt. I thought it was yeast in my head.
Yeah,
Okay, it's a malt.
I forget the name of the damn malt now.
But
Yeah, we were like one of the first ones to use it, and yeah, RBSG, like our rep there, Elliot, he was very gracious to participate on that, and it's just like he floated us all the bags that we needed for that one, and we wanted to get you guys looped in, and we didn't stick to our normal guns because we had fake news, and we wanted to do fake news too, but it was like our our marketing for the 7th anniversary was different, so we had to change it up. And but I mean the concept stayed the same. Everybody got to collaborate on that one. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
this was fake news.
That was by far, I think, my favorite beer of that year. So that was the 6th year, right?
The 6th year, and the funny thing about this one, so it's a New Zealand hop double IPA, 8.2%, and it was called Fake News with a capital N and Z because it was New Zealand hops, right? Hence that. And then we did all fake news as far as Nathan does cider and fucking, what does it say? Behind the beard is another beard for Noah. And Vox does not Vox nor enjoy hops, and Bickies have been shelves for me. And on the other side was just some of the episodes with on the pod. See, episode 86.
We could have just referred to the can. The can had all the episodes.
Well, that was the original one with Scotty. That was the one from Scott from when in person, but the can had the answers, and then on Vox and Hop. So this was like one of the most creative beers as far as like this is why it's so fun, because you're a dickhead like all of us, and you are down for all the shits and giggles, and we're just like coming up with silly ideas, and this was really fun. And it's cool that we've continued this. These are the only two we have done in as far as year 6 and 7, right? Now I guess it's now a thing that we're just doing every year that we're it's so fun.
So
man.
we're gonna do next year, but I don't want to say the name yet, because I think the name
is. You think it might change, or you think it's too soon?
No. I think the name is gold.
Yeah, the name is great. It's going to be more back on the fake news theme. We're bringing that back, and we'll do. Did we come up with the style yet? I can't remember.
No, we haven't.
Okay, we just got a name, and
actually, we've only talked about it. We haven't even talked to the other guys about it. So
I always forget. So that was just me and you. We haven't even talked. That's even funnier. Okay, well, that was.
We're gonna watch this episode and be like, "What the fuck? They never even talked to us.
They haven't talked. Like, but they've already made the call. Okay, I mean, you can influence a decision, because this is the thing. We gotta, you know, there's a bunch of us, so you and me, we can move the needle a little bit here. You know what I'm saying? Push the shit, whatever we want. Another really silly thing that we did that I really love. This was also one of the most creative things here. Was you got together 8 creators.
8, yes,
and teamed us all up to come up with 2 smoothie sours. And
sorry, did you say team or tame? Because I feel like it was tame.
I thought I said team. Team, TEAM.
Well,
there's nothing tame about these.
You up. I teamed you up, but I feel like we had to tame you guys sometimes. This is like the discussions went off the rails.
It did go crazy. And so you came up with 8 content creators. You put us into teams of 4, TEAM of 4. And that's why this one is called Monstrosity Team Monstralicious, which was our team. We came up with team names. And and it's 6.66, Monster, blah, blah, blah. And it was, who was it? Ours was us, Vox and Hops. Marty, who's from what's his name? He changed the name of the store. It's BV.
Brutique MV.
Boutique and Gab Hoppy Bitch, who I guess just goes by her name now, and ours, and then the coolest thing was, when was this? 2020? There's no date stamp, but 2022, 21.
That was our 5th anniversary.
So that would have been the year before. No, because I was in Montreal still. Was I?
Yeah,
maybe it was 22. Okay,
I think it was 22. Yeah,
22, because I did have it there. I didn't have it here, so it's 22. And then there was 4 other people on. Noah.
There was
No, beer was from this one.
Pia from IPA. There was
Yes, Pia.
Noah. Who
Nate.
else was there?
Was it Nate?
Nate, yeah.
So hang on. This is me,
Oh
Noah,
man.
Marty, and Gab, and then it would have been Matt, Nate, and there's these two girls. They would I can't remember the names. They were together. They were like a couple.
Yeah.
What was their names?
Fuck, I don't remember, man. That's crazy.
I don't think they're making a lot of people like left the beer content game to be
Yeah.
fair to us. But
I think
this
you're
was
the only
really
one, really.
Yeah, me and Nate are the only. So I mean, Maddie's out. Maddie's like still in beer, but he is now just a celebrity and
Yeah.
musician, and he's well, obviously works very hard. I wouldn't downplay Maddie's the fucking man. And he's not doing the pod currently. He's on hiatus. Noah's not doing the blog no more. Marty, I don't think he does anything. He's just running his store and killing it. Gab is still doing stuff though, but she just changed her name and now she's doing a bit of everything. It's not just beer, and she's doing like cider and food and spirits and all that fun stuff. So everyone's kind of like moved on a lot from beer. I totally get it. But this is 4th anniversary on the side here.
Okay.
So that's done so many anniversaries. Wow. That's 2022 then, because 2023 we didn't do anything. 2024 we did fake news. 25 this year we did reduced to Maya. 26 we got our new one. This was really fun though. So and then sorry, I want to just this one. Then there was a QR code on the can, and when people went they could get a flight of the 2 beers in the brewery, and then they could vote for their favorite. And the other guys took more risks than we took to give them props. They had like carrot. They did like a carrot cake.
They did carrot cake, yeah.
Which was really smart.
So I just found it on Facebook. It was Vox and Hops IPA podcast. Femme de Bière and Mike, and Mike David, Beer Brit.
Fuck, shouts to Mike. He's the man. Okay, I love Mike. Okay, and they did the carrot cake beer. Now we won because ours was more straightforward. I think ours had the passion fruit, kiwi, strawberry, dark cherry, vanilla, lactose. I think I pitched the Aussie Pavlova styles for this. Because it had a cool combo of fruits. So it's that one was a really fun beer, and it was really cool to like just bring that in, and then bring the voting in person thing for the anniversary that people come out for and do all that. It's very cool. I thought that was sick. And then we did one of the most ridiculous beers ever in Shelfabeki, and if there's any Australians listening, I don't need to explain it. And this was based on this little cookie here called a Monte Carlo, which is my favorite Australian biscuit. We call them bickies, hence Shelfabeki, but I don't want to really say what it means. The fact that to this day that we did a beer called this makes the Australian in me so proud. Because it's the dumbest possible. This would never happen there, and people would be like, "What? You what? Fuck?" And this was like, and then it was funny because you picked out. So basically, the cookie is you picked out a lemon note in it that I didn't realize was there, and you did. We didn't really. We added a little bit of lemon zest, but you would have ramped it up. I think you tried the cookie because of timing after brew day,
right?
And I think it was too late from memory. So I had vanilla, coconut, lemon zest, raspberry puree, graham cracker, cinnamon, and lactose, which is super sick. So this was silly and funny, and I've still got 1 can of this full in my fridge.
Oh my god. It hasn't exploded into outer space.
No, because it's in the fridge. Otherwise it would have exploded for sure. So I kept it in my little at the back of the beer fridge there. So I was like, I wonder if it would it be good after 4 years? I think it was 2021.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I wasn't sure what happens with smoothies.
I mean, it survived the move, though.
It survived, and look, and the move was not refrigerated. We moved in July, so it was like in the back of a truck. And long story short, we thought it would take a couple hours to get out of our house. It took 6 hours, and we had to cancel the movers on the Hamilton side. We had to sleep at Tiff's mum's house in Toronto. And we couldn't get our clothes, so we had to go to Walmart in Brockville, buy clothes, underwear, because we couldn't access any of our stuff because we knew I was like I had like an hour's sleep the night before. It was such a nightmare of a week. It's a long story, and we had to stop there. So anyway, the beer didn't go through any night. You know, it was in the back of a U-Haul for less than 24 hours, but not much less, and it didn't die. But that was not that long after it was brewed. But yeah, I think I basically put it in the beer fridge since then, and I didn't keep anything out, particularly smoothies.
That's pretty impressive.
I would have done it, cracked it on the pod, but I don't know. The old ceiling might have got hit.
Yeah, you might want to open that and outside.
Yes. Maybe a freeze as it goes. But yeah, so all that to say, we have done a lot of ridiculous collabs over the years. Did I miss any? Yeah. Was that all of? Oh, fuck! And the 10th anniversary collab, which was
that's true. Yeah.
Keg only, the Bickies and Beans we called it. So we did a collab with Found Coffee here in Toronto or Guelph, and the coffee beans had this insane blueberry. There were Ethiopian beans that were absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, did the coffee bean collab. Let's use that in as many beers as we possibly could. So you guys took that infused. Do you remember how you infused it in the beer?
No, I don't. Actually, I think that was probably like Keegan's first assignment when he came aboard. It was just like make this beer coffee-ish or whatever. And yeah. He's a big coffee guy, so he was like totally down for that. So
he seemed pretty happy with even just having the escape. I remember he's sending pictures of the espresso.
Yeah,
being like, "Yo, this is fire." I'm like, "Fuck, I told you, bro." Because when I tried it, I wish I got it because I got an espresso machine in July, and the beans were long gone by the time I got the machine. So I would have loved to have made it at home because I just never. When I went in January, I think, and did a tasting. And he just kept making different beans on espresso just to try and like concentrate it because that would probably be a pretty good indicator of what the beer is going to taste like. Yeah. I just couldn't believe. I'd never tasted anything like. I'm not as deep in coffee as I am in beer, but I really fucking love coffee. But I was like very excited about what the potential for that bean was.
I think he split the batch of the beans that we got from the roaster. And I think he did like a good amount of espresso, just right in there, and then we did like sort of an infusion on the beans itself, just to give that top note.
Dry bean.
Yeah, just to give that top note and all that stuff. And like, if my memory serves me correctly, I think that was kind of like the avenue we went down on that one.
That makes sense. Almost like making a cold brew out of it, which is sick. But it was a 9% coffee stout. It was so fucking good. So it was one of the few ones, and the great thing was, so we had it at the event. The event was like it was fantastic, but it's like I know I'm not that guy. I'm not an event guy. I can't do that. All the photos, I'm just like stressed as fuck because all the problems came to me. If I walk through the floor, people would, instead of being like, "Hey man, what's up?" like, it'd be like, "Hey, there's a glass broken over here. We need the where's the sweeper thing?" I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know. I have to go find the manager. Where's the thing so we can sweep the glass up?" And this problem. It was just like problems the whole time, so I didn't really get to enjoy it. But Blood Brothers were cool enough to put the beers that were on keg left over on tap in the tap room afterwards. And I was like, "Hey, could you do X beers, all the ones?" And it was all the ones that were keg only. It was you and Godspeed and Sir John and Brewski, and I think that was it. There might be one more. So me and Tiff went down specifically like a week after and just got to actually sit there and sip all of the beers nice and slowly, take some photos for the posts and stuff like that. It was very cool. Yeah. So yeah, man, that beer, you guys really nailed it.
I know we really wanted to go down to that for the event, and I forget why we didn't make it. But we had to send our keg with Sir John. So thanks, Joel, for that.
Yeah, Joe and Simon and Max, they were great with that. They hooked it up for a bunch of stuff. They brought like one of the kegerators, and Max was basically working the whole time and like fixing it all because all the problems he was going through and just tweaking it because it wasn't pouring because the volunteers didn't know. And Max just fixed it. And then Simon was lit as fuck in his little dinosaur shirt, just walking around, laugh at the party. It was pretty funny. It was pretty. I would have loved to have you there, but I appreciate you guys doing that so soon after your anniversary, and we'd already sort of did the group collab. and y'all made it happen. So it's that was really fucking sick though.
I
So
feel like
nice.
that's why we didn't make it. We just called in all our chits with our own wives for like
Yeah.
all the time that we have to like, all the overtime that we have to put in to get our anniversary done, and then just like, yeah, we
It's
got no
bad
more.
timing. No
Yeah,
more. No more. No more chips to cash in.
yeah,
Totally get it, man. It was great. So all that said, we done a few. It's really cool
yeah.
how varied they all are. Even now, just think we didn't miss any, right? Because I keep everything, so I'm not looking
No,
around
I
seeing
think
any.
that was pretty much it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
we'll have
we
another
met.
one on the wall next year
I
for
can't wait.
sure.
I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be beautiful. So it's gonna be. I like that now. It's become a now. That I forgot that the monsters one was a anniversary one. So now it's like that's three different anniversaries with just one gap in between,
Yeah, yeah,
which is even sicker. So we're just gonna keep this shit going, and it's fun. It's fun, man. It's cool that we can all be idiots and just be sort of creative and come up with cool stuff because not all, like you said, like earlier, like beer's fun. What are we doing here if we're not like messing around? But you also make look at the first two beers we had, like and even this one, it's exquisite saison, exquisite Vienna and lager that are just so well made and not silly by any means. It's like absolutely on point BJCP level shit. And then we do these ridiculous fucking carrot cake smoothies and
yeah.
biscuit things and whatever. The other ones actually aren't that ridiculous as much as like they are kind of like the double IPA wasn't that ridiculous. I guess it was just fire double
No,
IPA, but the one this year reduced to Maya was very interesting, very different. Using experimental products. I wonder if we could do something like that next year for like
probably.
experimental stuff. That could be
Or
pretty
we
cool.
just start putting cookies and shit in the next one. So who
Yeah, maybe we
knows?
should switch up the style, see what's going on. Fuck it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be ridiculous. I love it. All right. Should we next one?
yeah. Next one. I'm
All
gonna
right, what are we
do a
thinking?
pee break though.
Yep. All right, let's pause. We'll be right back. And we are back. And it's time for another beer, Uncle Andrew, which always weirds me out. Andrew. It's just not, I was like, who the fuck is Andrew? Like, which
Oh
is like,
yeah. When I
whereas,
when I copied our event to my other calendar.
yeah. And it said Andrew Stevens. Like, who on, what? It took me seriously maybe 30 seconds to be like, who is this? Is this, because I get all these like random, you know how you get spam texts, spam emails, whatever. I've been
Yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
spam event invites now that
That's
invited me to
weird.
some crypto Bitcoin shit. So you have to keep going decline. And I saw
Yeah.
it come through. I was like, I don't know what Andrew Steve. I was like, oh, after like 30 seconds, I went, oh, I don't know why. I just never thought about that would be your name.
I just
Which,
I just like when you message me like, who the fuck is Andrew? It's just like, I don't know, it depends who's asking you. Like, that's fair.
yeah,
It's like,
I was like,
I mean, when you fill out your documents, aren't you like Gregory or something?
that's the full name. Yeah. So let's keep that
Yeah.
one all over now. Talk about the Govy on here. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so what are we
um,
grabbing there, sir?
yeah.
What do
All
you
right.
feel like?
Is it haze time since we teased it all
Yeah,
up?
let's go
Okay.
highs.
We have two or three different options here. So,
We got Beast, which we were talking about before.
yes.
We have Three Hops this time, number 15,
Okay.
or we have Booming Out, which is a beer that we did back in the COVID era, and we
Okay.
decided to bring it back, and then I'm pretty happy with that one.
You want to do
But
that? Whatever you think is best for it, because we
let
can also do multiple haze too. So I'm not scared.
sure. All right, well, let's do the Three Hops this time, though. I like this
Okay.
one.
I don't know if you remember this, but when we were there in 2018,
Yeah,
I remember being in the brewery with all of us, Emily, you, me, Scott, Tiff, and you were showing us, telling us about this beer. I think that's what you brought, and I was like, you guys were saying something about it, and I'm like, what the fuck is it? Because I don't know the song. Like, it's not something that was in Australia. You guys had to
yeah,
explain to me what the song was.
yeah. So this is like the epitome of like white people wedding music. Like that's pretty much the what sums it up. But yeah,
Which is
it's
pretty funny.
the Cha Cha Slide. Name of the artist escapes me, but I'm pretty sure if you go Google Cha Cha Slide, you're going to know immediately if you've been to a wedding in recent history or whatever like that, that you know exactly the song.
That's
because
exactly the one.
there's a little dance to it, you know.
What is the dance without doing it? It's something like what's the? Is it
Well,
like?
it's like
Is it?
whatever the guy says. So it's like, go slide to the left, then slide to the
Oh,
right, and
okay,
like one hop, y'all, two hops, y'all, like
okay, gotcha.
and
One of
cha
them.
cha real slow or whatever, you know. So it's just like
Gotcha,
you
gotcha,
just got
gotcha.
to do whatever he is saying, pretty much.
I don't like authority, so I'm not doing shit when he says. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy, Drew. But yes, anyway, I always have a memory of this. I saw this came out the other day, and I don't know why I always think about that conversation that I never even heard of. And I guess at that point I'd been living here permanently for 7 years or something. So no, 8 years. So I should have known better, and I did not know better. Which
You haven't been to a wedding, I guess.
no, I honestly don't ever invite me to a wedding. I hate weddings more than anything. Don't invite me to a wedding. I hate them.
Well, that's okay. I'm
So
already married, man, so I'm
so
not
you're
gonna
good.
invite you to
Okay.
a new wedding.
Yeah, please don't. Emily's great. She's wonderful. Let's just keep you guys all safe there. But
Or
no.
maybe
So
just for spite. I think next year is our 10-year anniversary. I'm just gonna invite you just for spite. If you
maybe
show up, you show up, though.
I would come for you, and then we have to do the dance
We'll do it. We'll do it for sure.
whilst drinking the beer.
Of
Is that
course.
okay? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're the only person I would do it for. Ooh, it smells fire. Legend, get that up here. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, man.
Bango. Woo. Okay. So 6.6 episode version 15. Oh, you
Oh, I
frozen?
lost this.
It's
Okay,
okay.
there we go. We're back.
We're back. We're back.
Um, just like
Hobson.
how Kesh has the Doc series, like we have the three hops this time, and
Yes.
unfortunately, it's like really something that kind of like falls by the wayside because I really like this series. Like we just pick three different hops, whatever we have left in our fridge, or whatever we think is going to be like a great combination, and just put them all together. So this particular one was Mosaic, Motueka, and Galaxy, um, or MGM if you want. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, I just think like everything was like just super great. Like everything, and sometimes this series doesn't work out. Like I can't really think of like some combinations, but like we didn't really put like three hops that really popped together. I remember there was
Okay.
one, and I forget the name of it. Like I forget the hops that were in there, but they were like kind of like secondary hops. Like they weren't like your Citra Galaxy or like anything that was very like upfront. It was like the second role players. I'm like, what if we put like the three second role players all together? Like, would something pop out one more than the other? And it didn't really work. So,
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, this is all just for like for us to play around with. But this one, everything really like pops. You know, you got like that zesty lime from the Motueka, you got the grapefruit and like that sort of like peach ring sort of candy in there, and um, yeah, everything like just kind of came together really nice with this one. So.
Mm. I'm definitely getting that lime, that peach, and kind of like dank citrus. Um, which hop do you think is shining through the most here? Is it like because I feel like I haven't had enough of like new era Galaxy to be able
Yeah.
to pick it, but I've had like Mosaic over the blueberries and the Moteca, which I found out recently is Motueka. This real like subtle like people say Motueka. It's like Motueka. I had a New Zealand Ryan from Bad Bones is from New Zealand. He was on the pod,
Okay.
and I was like, "All right, a fucking Kiwi, dude. Tell me what it is," because I said Moteca the whole time because I just didn't think that you was that serious. And then he,
Yeah.
like, subtle, just he dipped down just a touch on it. So learning, it's a beautiful thing.
That's it. Learning, man. Which one really? I mean, Galaxy probably out of like the three is the most punchy in there. Um, but I think everything kind of like just really like we got a really nice lot of mosaic that recently, and I think that kind of just feathered everything out, and then that uh, Moteca as we call it, um, just kind of like that actually came to the table a little bit more than I expected, but
Yeah,
but
it's It's fantastic. It's really balanced. It's nice, creamy, great body. It's fruit forward. This is pretty fresh. This one too. What is the date? November 20th.
November 20th. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like fucking. I mean, not even 3 weeks, or exactly 3 weeks. Either way, this is fantastic, man. This is great. This is. Do you have any favorites? This is number 15 from the series, which is sick, and that's 15 over 7 years.
Yeah. So, like I said, we really haven't explored this series as much as we have. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that kind of always falls by the wayside. Like, we're always so itchy on trying different styles or doing different things or just keeping up with the flagships and all that stuff. That it's just like, unfortunately, it just kind of falls on the side. But like I feel like, well, this is only the first 3 hops that we did in 2025. I would say. Don't fact check me on that, but I think like number 14 came out last year, and there was a time where we're coming out with like maybe 2 or 3 per year, and then so I've been super rigid on that one.
That's makes sense. Okay, so the last one I had was number 10, and I had that on 2021.
Yeah.
And then the OG. So I had the OG. This OG must have been 19th of May 2018, which is when we recorded that first pod. Nice. So I had the very first one because it didn't have like number 1 next to it. Just had 3 hops this time. Yeah.
Wait, you were shot?
Yeah, that time.
Oh wow, yeah, that must be number 1 then.
Yeah, wow, that's nice. So I had number 1,
that's crazy.
And then 10, and then 15. Oh, that's like nice and odd, even numbers, sorry. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think it was the first one. That's cool. I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I wonder what it was like.
I think I liked it. Like, I didn't put any notes on here. I'm sure I reviewed it. Obviously, I'm looking at all the pictures, and this is like the other people, because back then I don't know why I only started it this year, is taking pictures and posting it with the beer so I can see it. Maybe I'll remember something that triggers more. I don't know why I never did it. This shit looks like all the photos that people are posting are like, this is number 1 here, looking pretty murky.
Yeah, everything back then was, I think, a disaster, really.
Well,
I look at some of our old pictures of like some old beers, and I'm like, God damn, what were you thinking? You know?
Well, I mean, I guess it was year 1, and it was a whole. You know, you're figuring everything out. There's so much going on. I guess you got to give yourself some grace with that.
But we didn't have the luxury of technology in year 1. That's for sure. So,
what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you seen it. It was like very, very sort of homebrewy and very piecemeal and all that stuff. So, we're
lost you for a second. Drew's coming back,
and we're back.
Shouts to the internet.
I'm like right beside my modem, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it shouldn't at all. We can hear you. I'm sure the video will kick back in a sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I see you. I see you and hear you perfectly, sir.
Okay. So your screen hopefully should kick back in a second. The people need to see those beautiful brown eyes, or whatever color they are. I should know. I'm sorry if I called them.
I don't even know the color of my own eyes.
I don't think anyone knows. Who the hell knows? It's only if you're filling out immigration forms. You're like, what color's my shit? Like, fuck.
Am I back yet?
No. We're looking at just a black screen. But it's okay. I believe in you. I believe in you, Drew. I know you can get this going. I know you can. Because nothing else is acceptable.
Should I switch over to my laptop? Maybe that might be easier.
Do you want to switch to the laptop? We can pause for a sec. You can jump on the lappy.
Yeah, let's see if that works better.
Yeah, all right. We'll be right back. Say it for me, Drew. Say it.
Oh no.
Well, I was gonna say "and my back," but you can say "r no."
Oh no.
Oh no! But we got our technical difficulties relatively sorted right now. We're feeling good, technically.
We're back.
Okay. I have no idea what we were talking about though. What were we talking about? This beer, I guess.
Yeah, 3 hops this time. Number 15. You had 1, 10, and 15.
Good.
That's cool.
Look at you, not that lit. I love it. Love to see it. It is very fucking cool. So 2026, people can expect this beer to be back in action.
For sure. Yeah. We got to get back at it. We got to get it's just, we just get roped into all kinds of like cool shit sometimes. It's like 10th anniversary of BAOS podcast, and just like we'll have to put 3 hops this time off on the back burner. So it's just,
I blame us too. It's 100% our fault. There is absolutely no other factors involved, and I apologize to all those fans of this beer.
I don't think there's any, but it's fine.
I don't know if that's true. Well, you know what? I think there's fans of the series, because you can't necessarily say fans of this beer because they're all short, short runs, small. You got to get in there. You got to be excited. Well, I say not that short. There's any, of course, there's fucking fans of this beer, but I mean, like, there's people who fuck with the series. I imagine aggressively so, because it's fun and it's a cultural moment. If you like dancing to shit songs at weddings, well, this is for you, mate.
That's it, for sure.
It's the beer to make it all okay. If I had to dance when we were kids, you guys didn't have it. Did you have to dance to this song at like primary school, or whatever, when you were like kids?
This song? Yes. I didn't even know this song existed. Actually, it was my wife Emily that introduced me to this, and I think it played at like one of the weddings that we went to, and or she requested the song, and she knew about this shit. But I'm like, it's not my vibe, man. So,
it's not my vibe either. When we were kids, they made us dance to this Tina Turner song called Nutbush. Do you remember that at all?
That's a funny song name, though.
I never thought about it. Yeah. You're right. But it's the same.
Wow. Tina Turner was writing bangers before we even knew, but
she was like, boys, this is for you 30 years later. Like,
Nutbush.
Like, Nutbush. It was like one of the joints where it was on at every party.
That's not even a thing, though. That's not a thing. Like,
no, it's not. I didn't even know what it was about, but it was a thing. You had to do this, like, you tap your shit and you blah blah blah, then you spin and you do it that way, then you do it that way. It's fucking. It's not my vibe. I don't like communal dancing. It's like don't involve me in that shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to be posted up, sitting down, watching you dickheads row. So this reminds me of that a lot. But the beer is fantastic, and if I had this beer and this song came on, maybe I'd be more predisposed to participating, or at least being less cranky about the song coming on, because I'm like, well, look, this is a song from the beer. I got the beer. Okay, let's have a good time. Yeah. And then the song would pass, and then you move on and you have a great night.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
That's what the beer's for. It's for getting people like us just getting us through.
Just getting us through. Yeah, that's true. I feel like that was like such a COVID moment. Beer's just getting us through.
Yeah, just getting the beer's getting us through. Well, I'm gonna write that down as an episode title. That's a nice one. It was, though, wasn't it, for a little bit there, that to a point of problematicness for some folks, beer got us through. It was the one thing we had in common, and this is why, I don't know if I've said this ever publicly, but I always say it to guests when we're booking it, that when we were doing, when we first came and saw you in 2018, it was in person, right?
Yeah.
We're filming it there and blah, blah, blah. But when COVID happened, we're like, oh, what do we do? How do we do this? Because we never would do it not in person. Yeah. So we had to move to this, and we were doing the pods. We were just messing around at first, just me and Tiff. Then I started getting like the boys, Nate, Matt, Noah, different people like that, just on the pod, and we'd just be fucking around. Then I was like, maybe I could get the brewers on virtually, I guess. No one's doing anything. And it was weird because I'd be like, oh, Drew, like, what are you drinking? You're like, well, Kahnawake. I'm like, what are you drinking? I'm like, well, not that. And it was just so odd. And Nickelbrook in Ontario did this thing where they had like a Zoom with like 300 people, and they were selling a 6-pack of beers, and they would have their head brewer and the marketing dude. They would talk through it, and it'd be like a 3-hour thing. And they sent one out to us one time to be like, hey, promote it and talk about it. I'm like, yeah, sweet. I'm like, oh, this is how it's done. We just have to have the same beer, and it makes it 10 times more cohesive because we're connecting virtually with the same thing, which was the point of it for COVID, because there was a common point that you have it, I have it. We're tasting the same thing. Like, isn't this cool?
Yeah.
So that's what we did for the pod, and we started being like, all right, if you're gonna be on the pod, and then that's been 5 years, and we just kept doing it this way because it's the only way that makes sense to do it. Then on top of that, if we're promoting the episodes and taking the photos and you doing that stuff and I'm doing the reviews, and then there's just multiple promotional angles for it as well. But it brings us, we're in different places. Otherwise it'd be like, oh, Drew, next time I'm in the area, we'll do a pod. And that was like,
all right, see you in annoying. Like 15 years.
Yeah, basically. Because I have to make a special trip. That's what it was. I was talking to so many people. I'm like, well, when I'm there, I'm there. And like everything's out of pocket. And if sometimes there was no reason to go to that area, and some places were out of the way, and then we didn't have a car, so you had to actually pay to rent the car to then go. So everything was just straight out of pocket. It just didn't always make sense. So that was why, if anyone ever wondered why we do the same beer thing, it really makes it come together. And yes, then beer in COVID was like the one thing that kind of kept people a bit sane for a bit, to the point of exhaustion, I guess, because people took it too far and were just getting lit every day. Because why not?
Yeah.
And then they had to calm the fuck down. But
ruined the fun for all of us.
They kind of did, though, because it was like the beer industry was going boom, 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 crazy, and people were telling me they were doing their predictions for the next year based off the COVID 2020 sales, and then it was like, boom. Bunch of people sort of like either ran out of money or was like, oh, I'm getting really fat. This is not good.
Yeah,
because there was no balance in what they were doing. There was no movement. There was no like the usual walking, gym, blah blah blah, whatever it is that they do.
I always found it crazy of the breweries that would base their like brewing and like business models around like COVID or post-COVID sales. Is like, dude, everybody was so thirsty to get out of their house.
Yeah,
like you can't. That's gotta come down at some point, back to like normality type thing. And I was like so surprised that a lot of people just kind of based it on that,
I mean, I guess that's all you really had for a little bit, because it was such a every time you like, I don't know about you if you've seen stuff lately, but if anybody like whenever it comes up in your feed or whatever, and you see some footage of news or just people doing stuff from 2020 2021, you're like, yo, what a fucking time. Already weeks away from 2026, so it's not that far removed from it, but god damn it feels very foreign and very like,
you know what, I saw, I forget what company it was, they like, whatever, there was a sponsored ad or something like that, and it was like a promo video of their company, and it was like people walking through a hall, but they had masks on. And I was just like, holy shit, that's like fucking old, like that's fucking really old.
Isn't it disarming?
But it's only been what, 4 years or something, like 4 or 5 years,
and it feels like an era ago.
Yeah, that's like that's crazy. The crazy shit that we had to do. Yeah.
Oh, even just thinking like stuff at the supermarket, line up at the supermarket on the little footprints on the fucking thing, and like you had to go and wash your hands at a wash station, and there's someone in there wiping down the trolleys and shit, and you're like, off you go.
Did you sanitize your groceries when you came back home?
I did it for like 2 years after COVID. I sanitized my beers.
Yeah.
I think
I think I should go back to it though.
Honestly though, people stretch their ass and then grab the box of cereal that you were going to go for. And you're like, oh, fucker. People are disgusting. So like there was some elements to it that were to the COVID behavior that was ridiculous. But then you think like, because you're putting like, say beer is a good example. You're getting beer like from a brewery is maybe a bit different, but you got a supermarket. It's been through a supply chain. So all these different things it's touched multiple things. It's been touched by different things, and by the time you get it home, you're just putting it in your fridge next to your apples and your fucking lasagna. So it's like, it kind of feels weird to have this stuff. So it took us a bit to get out of it. It was so annoying. I hated it. You got home with a grocery haul. You're like, oh, now I gotta wash it. So eventually we were just like, fuck this. But like, it was kind of like, it kind of made you feel like, things are a bit nicer for a little bit. But like, God, it was such a strange time. Like, all thinking back on it all. It's do you feel like, say, in the beer industry, I don't want to say bounce back, because I kind of feel like things overall will never be the same. Yeah. But has things sort of like, maybe not like has a bounce back, but maybe is there some sort of maybe normalcy, like patterns that you can recognize that feel like this is a normalish groove that we're in? Post all of that?
Yeah, kind of like, I mean, there's definitely been always groups, I guess, like that just kind of been itchy to get out of the house, and that's great. So, I mean, beer is a social drink, right? So it's like, fucking camera. Beer is a social drink, so it's like it's sort of like abnormal if you're not drinking with other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't see people like sort of like using the sanitizing machines anymore. Like
yeah, they've definitely gone down a lot. And I just wonder if that's everyone's just back to being dirty, fucking filthy animals again. Because there's like an element to like,
I get aggravated. Like no shade on anybody who doesn't wash their hands.
No
after
shade.
Touching after touching their dick and all that stuff. But it's just like, but I'm just like,
we
just went through 2 years of fucking shit. Okay, like just like, because you didn't wash your hands. Just wash the goddamn it. It's like it would take you, like, honestly, just entertain the water coming out of the faucet. Just like fucking do something. But like that's my school of thought on that. It's just like, we went through so much shit because people didn't wash their hands. Just wash your goddamn hands. It takes like, you don't have to do the 2-minute thing with the scrubby, just
sing happy birthday, whatever it is,
and entertain the water. Honestly, just put a little bit of soap and just make me feel better about it. But the amount of people that like, and not just saying our place, but like just going out in general, and then I see people like, they're in the stall or at the urinal, and then they do their thing, and then they just like leave. And I'm just like I almost want to go to that person's table and just like, that person just like, don't share food with that guy.
Yeah.
So you just touch his dick, and then just now he's lathering it all over your spring roll or whatever the fuck you guys
nachos or your pizza, and you're like,
nachos, that's the worst.
Yeah, I've seen that so many times since. I'd always like, me and Tiff have been a little bit germophobic before COVID, so we were always clean, washing hands, all that stuff beforehand. So when COVID came in, everyone else finally was doing it. We were like, sick. This is really nice that people are finally up on it. But it really quickly went away, like the hygiene standards. And I'm like, it would be very nice if people fucking do it. And we can definitely shade people if you're still in 2025 or 2026, like going to the bathroom, like, I mean, at home, maybe, like, I didn't go like wash your hands with soap after you take a piss.
Still not acceptable.
Yeah, like entertain the water, like you said, entertain the water. Like, if you're out in public and you're dealing with Doug, wash it all the time. Don't even like, I'll wash my hands with soap, even taking a piss at like IKEA, because it's like you're touching stuff all over, and who knows what all, you're touching the cart, and you're grabbing the boxes, and you're grabbing all these different things. I'm like, ew, like, it's fucking disgusting. I just don't know why that it sucks that's, of all the things about COVID, most of it were negative. The cleanliness that people were forced to have was probably the largest positive thing, and just and then that was the thing probably that went away the fastest, where it was like, now you don't wash your hands, Doug? Okay. All right. Yeah, dick hands. Is that the episode name? Dick hands?
Dick hands.
Maybe not. Emily wouldn't support that.
It's like Drew Dick Hands Stevens, right on that podcast.
Is that the new nickname? Maybe you can get a little hockey jersey, just Dick Hands across the back.
I feel like that could be misinterpreted.
It could be. Yeah. That's part of the fun.
That's part of the fun.
Not people look at it and they'll be like, all right, Dick Hands. I'm like, no, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't wash my hands after I pee.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck did we get onto that? We're only 4 beers deep. I feel like we're wilding out already.
I don't know.
Is it time for the
We
next
need
one, or
another
are we
one, I
still?
think.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
are we saying? What are we saying?
Um, let's do let's do well, you had beast before. So let's do booming out.
Booming out. Beautiful. Nice. So this was the one you were saying that was you're pretty stoked on.
Yeah, so this is actually we're talking about COVID. So this is like a nice segue to COVID, or segue out of COVID maybe.
Out of
This is a
please.
beer that me and Christoph were dicking around with COVID. We like during COVID time we were making hand sanitizer. We gave a ton of it out to the community for free. We're bottling uh isopropyl alcohol for a major company. I can't say who, but we're doing like a lot of crazy. Like I didn't stop working during COVID, because we just got like we're just doing a bunch of different projects, and then one of them was just fucking around with different hops and different like techniques. And so booming out was one of them. And this is kind of like I mean, we changed it since then, but it was one of these concepts that we read from Other Half where they were brewing a beer and basically not using any hops on the hot side at all and just doing dry hops. So this was a beer that was born out of that. We've since rebrewed it. This is probably the first time we rebrewed it since probably like 2020 or 2021. Um, and this time we actually added some hot side hops, but and we added like a different candidate for some hops. I forget what the hops were back in the day, but this time we added Citra and Crush, which is the HPC. What is it? 586.
586 was
Uh,
crush, yeah.
and yeah, just an absolute. I love this beer just because it's a little bit lighter on the alcohol. I mean, it's still 6.5, but
6.5,
yeah. I mean, I'm used to drinking Beast, which is 7.5, so so it's a little bit lighter on the palate, but still. And we pushed the effervescence on this one too. There's yeah. Anyways, you
Hell
try it
yeah.
out. You let me
Let's
know.
go. I'm ready. Do you have it there?
Yeah, I'm pouring it right now. Actually,
Fuck yeah. Get that in you, mad dog.
I just did like a shitty ass pour, so I got a ton of foam, but.
Nice. So this one does have the. So sorry, it was Citra and Crush, right?
That's right, Citra and Crush. Yeah.
Citra and Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, killer. Citra and Crush. What do you think about Crush? How do you feel about that as a hop?
Well, Crush has always been like a sort of anomaly for me because we did that thing with Vox and Hops with Maddie from Vox and Hops,
Yes.
where we did the what the hell what do we call it?
The
Haze Wars. That was it. And the first Haze
yes.
Wars was and this was the decision of Yakima Chief Hops, where they wanted us all the breweries participating only had to use it was a single hop IPA. We had a range of percentage, so I think it was like anywhere from 6 to 7.9. You only had to use the HPC 586, which ended up being Crush, and that was it. And so the winner of that one was Sir John, just because theirs fell clear. So it actually ended up being a very interesting beer if it felt clear, than more than the hazy. Like I think all the hazies. I mean, there was Jackalope, there was Buck Canada, there was us. I'm definitely forgetting one, but it was like it was
Meso?
very was I don't
Sankion?
think Mess I don't think I don't think those guys were there. Oh,
Toltec?
Toltec,
Toltec.
yeah. Yeah, so we're like all the beers were fairly close, but I don't think there was a clear winner on that one. And then Sir John had this outlier where it was like it just dropped clear. And it was just like all the bullshit, all the protein stuff out of the way, and it was like just really that hop on the stage. They were super disappointed in their beer. I remember that, but they ended up winning, and it was just like uh, it was definitely the beer that had the most expression, just getting stuff out of the way. So I think this hop could be like a very versatile hop.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, we tried to get our hands on it for 2026, and it's already like oversold. So I mean, obviously, words got out that it's a good candidate for some beers. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I always wondered with Crush if it's more. That's what I was asking. Like, I'm glad you're happy with it. I wonder if it's like a supporting hop. Like do you have it like forward? Is it single? What's the
yeah,
deal? Same with because 1019 became Dulcita. So like, I wonder if that's the same sort of thing.
yeah. I think it's kind of like it's not really a supporting hop, but it's not. I don't really think it takes the lead on it. It's definitely punchy, but I don't know if it's kind of like sort of like Citra tier, kind of like the God tier, or what are those like the YouTube tier lists? Like it's not like
Yeah. Oh, S
it's
tier.
S tier. Yeah, that's it. It's not. I don't think it's S tier, but it's definitely A tier for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I like this beer. This works well because I think the Citra plays off with it. If it was single hop Crush, I feel like Dulcita and Crush. I just don't know if they're single hop material,
Right.
and I feel
Actually,
like
the other thing that really pissed me off about this hop, so this kind of like for me personally, it kind of goes down to a B tier, is that this hop to me constantly evolves.
okay,
It doesn't have like a sweet spot that it just like rests
and
in.
it's
And
oh
and we noticed this in that single hop series with the Box and Hops, where it was just like when those beers came out, they were relatively fresh. Um, all we had the tap takeover at our place, and everybody was like, I mean, like literally everybody who participated came down because they were so interested in like this new hop. What is everybody doing with it? Like, how is it going to pan out? Um, and but like to me, 2 or 3 weeks later, I'd crack a can and I'm like, holy fucking shit! Like
this is a different beer.
this is a different beer, and this totally like slays
Mm,
anything that like preceded it. Like if we had this beer, if we were able to age that beer 2 weeks longer to the release date, I think we had a good chance. But then again, I mean, everybody could have said the same thing, like because I'm pretty sure they went back, like Buck Canada and Jackalope and all that stuff, went back and tried those beers 2 weeks later, and it's like, fuck, like this is it like finally grew into its own. So I just feel like that sort of evolution process takes a little bit longer on this hop, and that's kind of like the thing that pisses me off because like the unpredictability of it. It's just like when you're trying to come out with like, we got pitched this hop for one of our core brands, and it just like couldn't think about putting it in our core brand because
the
I just don't
changes.
know where it's going to be when it's out there.
Dog, that's fascinating. I've never heard that and you're specifically about Crush, right?
Specifically, like I've never seen or tasted anything like it that just sort of evolves.
Mm. This is the first I've heard of that, and I think that's really fantastic observation right there. That it's not even just observation; like you actually like dealt with it. Yeah, that's interesting, and I wonder if that'll play a part in where it's sort of go because it's too much of a risk if it, particularly for flagships, like you're saying, like you can't really justify, or any brewery can't justify putting this in a flagship beer that is, as we spoke about earlier, has to there's a very strong element of homogeneity, uh,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever the word is. Like it's just going to be the same. Otherwise, you're going to be like, this is not the same beer. And if you're using a hop like that, if there's too many flexibilities in it, then it's not gonna work. So that's interesting to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that was like the obviously the first time that we used it. I don't know how it's really evolving now. Like I'd have to go back into my notes and see how like what is our interpretation of this beer. I mean, we've used Crush or HPC 586 and some other things, but I think this is the one that really like, I mean, it's Citra and this. So Citra, we already know what to expect out of that, so it'd be interesting to see what we're kind of getting out of this one. And I'll have to go back to like my tasting notes on this one and see where we're at. Maybe that was like, you know, that particular lot or whatever like that. It's very hard to say. Like there's no scientific background on that, you know.
Yeah, and even when it's like an HBC, I was actually thinking that, like, is there a level of consistency? Because say if you used it, when was Hazel? Was like 2-3 years ago, probably 20.
Yeah, probably easily 3 years ago. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was when I even lived in Montreal, so maybe it was three in 2022.
Right.
Or it might have been like just after we moved. Either way, it was around that time. So call it 3 years ago. Is it HBC hop? Do they have like? Do they grow it for 1 year? Then there's like the next year they're still growing it, but they don't have a name for it yet. It's still HBC. People use like so that you're right.
Yeah.
There's probably different lots of it. How is it performing? Because no brewer really in their right mind would want to commit to a product like that if there's no level of consistency of
Well,
outcome.
there's definitely people that have committed to it. Like, cause like I said, it's been like oversold already. So
Interesting.
they're yeah, I mean it's a great product. Very interested to see how it goes throughout the years, you know.
Yeah,
I
I'd like
don't
to
know if
see
it's the
it.
next Citra per se. I don't think it has the hype power for the next Citra, but it's definitely a
No.
good contender. You know?
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I like the way that you're positioning that because I sort of have my feelings about, any hops you have. Like my goat is Peacherine. Peacherine is the greatest hop. I've had people tell me though that they think Peacherine's better as a blending hop, and I'm like, fucking you what, mate? Like, no. So that's why I kind of was like, oh, okay. So, people would feel so if I feel a way about Crush and Dulcito, like they're fine, but I just think
Yeah,
they need to be little bits, like maybe 1 of 4, 1 of 5, as opposed to like really up there. Maybe for my personal taste, but
right.
you make a fantastic point in that they're both so young as a branded, registered trademark, patented hop that we just got to give it time because you're right. Maybe it's not the next Citra, but maybe there's a level of stability it'll reach and it'll hit this kind of like groove in the annual harvest over time. So maybe the 2025, 2026 harvest is going to taste like X. And you'd be like,
Yeah,
yo, this shit is fucking slapping right now. So you can't call it. And you can only really judge on what you're drinking now, but doesn't mean it's not going to go somewhere differently. I hadn't thought of it that way. I think that's a really great way to think about hops, particularly ones that very, very recently, which this and Crush and Dulcito were the two most recent that became a brand name and have moved on from HBC, and now it's like they're in a new
yeah,
era and they're finding themselves, and maybe it just takes time for a hop to find themselves.
yeah. True. Curious, what do you think about the Dulcito though?
If I'm going to be, I don't love it. I don't love it. I think it's like it's a little bit, it's a kind of like a Sabro-ish type of thing going on, and I don't mind Sabro to be honest, but it's cool. It's just like this, like how do I say it? Like almost like that peach ring fake candied thing with a little bit of coconut or whatever. And I haven't loved anything that it's been in. That's
Yeah.
probably the way that I feel. How do you feel about it?
Did we send you the I think we sent you all the seventh anniversary collabs.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that was well, it was still 1019 back then. But that was the one that we did with Boreal. So it's Boreas.
Was that a
And
the single IPA?
I don't remember if it was a single IPA or a double IPA. I think it might be a single IPA. Boreas.
Oh yeah, I
But
had that. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was maybe one of my
It was a double.
favorite. Okay, that was one of my favorite beers that we released, and that was pretty heavy on the 1019. Actually, like maybe a bit too heavy. We had almost like I remember we were supposed to dry hop more on 1019 on that. And then when we got to the second dry hop, we're like, no fucking way. We gotta dial this down. So I think we
Dial it
went
back.
back. Yeah. We dialed it back on the Citra, but I was like, that was maybe one of my favorite beers on that release. I was very impressed with that 1019.
Okay.
I agree with you on the Sabro thing though. As like I think Sabro is kind of like one of those spices that you just kind of like you just sprinkle in a little bit and you don't put too much of it and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean like I like it. I don't think it's like a forerunner for me because that's not really like you know, I'm not down that Sabro path. I think there's a usage for it, but I don't think that's like that's not the that's not Citra, the kid that plays with everybody, you know. So
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And yeah, it's got to be used in a certain way. And I feel like that's all hops. And maybe part of it is like if someone had said, you know, like I said before, someone told me I actually can't remember who it was, said that they don't really love peacherine. They think it's better as a one of you know one of playing with others. I was
yeah,
sort of like taken aback by that because I'm so into it. I was just like, "Are you what? What are you talking about?" Like, so that means that you know there's different, obviously different approaches, different palates, and different beers would require different volumes of it, and that's fine. I think that's totally cool. Sabro has its place. I've had single hop Sabro beers, and I feel like the later, on your point, actually, I think your point was perfect about them changing over time. I swear I've had Sabro single hop beers recently that were much more mellow than what Sabro used to be. That we know it as. You know, you think about
fake
it.
news.
We had Sabro and fake news.
No. I was just saying fake news in general, like of like you can't just use a single hop Sabra. They might not be putting anything in there. Then
I've had
it's like
bad.
buying
I've
it's
had them
like
for
buying
sure.
a can of I don't know, chicken noodle soup. You know, they didn't really put chicken in that.
So what do you mean? As in, like, it's not strong enough to maintain a single hop?
Oh no, I think they just probably went really light-handed on that because I'm like that. I don't know. Every year that I've used, and I feel like we've used every year, it's like that shit just takes over. But
Interesting. I know Badlands does this one called Select every year, where they drop maybe 6 to 8 different beers with their hand selected hops, and there's single hop in everything. And they've done Sabro multiple times. I don't remember it being like overly crazy, so it could
yeah,
have been volume based. That he doses it in different volumes compared to other hops. Is that what you might be
I would think
suggesting?
so. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah,
I mean, it's possible. I don't remember being like, because I don't hate Sabro at all, but 1019, oh, sorry, Dulcita is, I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't. It's got some flavor profiles that I don't personally look for in New England IPAs, and I
maybe
would.
like kind of the woodsiness of it.
No, it's not the woodiness. It's like
No,
and it's kind of like in what Crush has as well. It's like, I mean, if there is a woods unit, that would not be something I'm looking for. So if that is, sorry, I probably should correct that. It would be something, but it's not what I'm specifically thinking of. I'd probably have to have a 1019. I feel like it's almost like it tastes, even though it's a real natural product, it almost tastes like an artificial flavoring for
okay,
peach rings, blah blah blah, that type of shit. Which I'm also
yeah,
in on paper not against, but it
right.
doesn't always work with all the hops. And maybe if it's like there's certain volumes, like for example, we're talking about, is it maybe in 3 hops there was Galaxy. Back in the day, if you had Galaxy in anything, you gotta dial that bitch back because that's gonna take the fuck over like every time.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you still have to
perhaps
dial it back.
you still have to. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So same shit. So maybe it's the same thing with Crush and with Dulcita, that you do have to have just a not, the balance has got to be very thoughtful for it to complement the flavor in the right ways. And that's what I'm not like. I'm not aggressively saying no, fuck that hop, I hate it. I'm just more like, it's not my preference if it's up front. and I feel like there's ways to use them both that can complement a beer. But I got to be honest, like Crush, I don't know if I've had a beer with Crush in it that I've like been like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't found that.
I
Sweet
agree
spot
with
yet.
that. I think it's still like it's too recent data. And I don't think it has like a particular flavor type thing. Where you could like, like I mean we make a decent amount of beers that have Galaxy. So it's like when you have a beer that is like front Galaxy, you're just like, oh shit, there's Galaxy.
Every
And
time.
same thing with Citra. It's just like anything that tastes like fucking awesome, for sure there's for sure
The
there's Citra in
Citra,
it. So it's like, um, yeah, I don't think there's like enough. There's or maybe it's maybe not the right hop yet, whereas like that's the forerunner of that beer, um like that 1019, the Cedar or whatever. For sure it has like Sabro-esque qualities to it.
yeah.
um but I think there's a different way of like there's definitely ways of playing into it, and I think that's where I really liked the beer that we did with Boreal for our 7th anniversary. Um, that had 1019. It was like 1019, like heavy, balanced out with Citra. I think there might have been something else in there, but yeah, we had to dial it back because it started getting a little bit like too sort of woodsy, coconutty, and all that stuff, and
Right.
yeah.
It doesn't say. Untapped doesn't say. I was trying to get the hop line up. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's like oh, I had it at that's why I had it at the brewery with Sam and Keegan and Noah. We were trying a bunch of stuff. And then I had it again a little bit later. Okay, I see. Yeah, it doesn't say what the percentages are, what it is. But yeah, it's I guess it's interesting because we've obviously we've all been around when new hops products came around, but
Yeah.
it's I think they've been a little more obvious home runs, if that's a fair thing to say, in
Right.
comparison. Because Peterina's a new one, right? All the New Zealand hops, at least, anyway. Because Dulcida, where's that from? That's PNW, probably, right? So is Crush, Yakima.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
So like, I don't know what the ones before that were. I'm
Right.
sure that I can't think of things like that, but like I guess it just takes time. You got to like give it time to sort of find where it fits in and find where
Yeah.
it sort of like where it contributes and like does it work? What styles do they work in? And what percentages? At maybe there's a scientific fucking way methodology to determine like, okay, Crush works amazingly with this and this hops, and then Dulcida works amazing with this and this, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool. So if it's in an X percentage with these ones, it's known to deliver. Just maybe like it just amplifies the tropical vibes and as opposed
Right.
to dominates. You know what I'm saying? Because the flavors that are in here are valuable flavors that it's giving off. But I wonder if there's a way for it to sit perfectly, and I guess that's maybe for up to each brewery, or I don't know if that's up to that, or if it says like
Yeah.
a straight like, all right, these percentages typically for anybody who uses them work. So yeah, it's
Right.
new territory, right? So I guess we got to
I just pulled up the recipe because I was just so curious about the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
We really doubled down on the fuckery on that one because there's actually there's Sabro in there. There's 1019, so Dulcida. There's Nectaron, and there's Citra. So it was just like it was.
You went hard.
Yeah, we went dick hard on the coconut. So
I love it. Well, if you're
lots
gonna
of
go
dicks, lots of dicks on the coconuts.
Dicks in the is that the episode name? Dicks in the coconuts?
Lots of dicks on the coconuts.
On the coconuts, not in
Yeah,
them.
like resting on them.
Resting just gently.
Yeah.
Swaying in the breeze on the little fluffy coconut tops.
Yeah, your first night down south, like kind of climbed
you're
up a
like,
tree, you
boys.
grabbed it.
Like, all right, fellas, Is it the furry coconut or the green coconut?
Dude, you gotta go furry.
Yeah, I was gonna say furry. It's gonna be and right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Comment below if you guys do that too. And it's gonna be oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Smash the like button if you like furry coconuts.
That would be great. And imagine all of a sudden you're gonna see this like influx of likes at 2 hours and 30 some minutes. Fucking
yeah.
Oh, good fucking time. Yeah, it's crazy. It's very interesting though. Just a lot. And then on top of that, we're just talking about the new hops. We're not even talking about the hop products that you can play with, the flowables,
right.
abstracts, and da. Have you fucked with a lot of that stuff?
Yeah, we're doing a lot more with those things. I mean, those are. I was really like standoffish on a lot of those things because, like, to me, it was like, all right, we're gonna use like pellets and shit like that. But I don't know, like we just kind of been dabbling around with a lot of the flowables in the last couple of years, and it's just been, yeah, it definitely adds a different layer to it, and yeah, we've been rocking with that for a while. So,
Any faves?
um, well, I mean, just for Beast per se, we've been using Incognito for a good while,
Hell yeah.
for several years actually. Um, a little less common now, I guess, Incognito. But yeah, like all the products that YCH has come out with, like the Hyper Boost, Dyna Boost, we've been playing around with those ones. Uh, the abstracts a little bit less. We're actually coming out with like a series of of all things, like a fruit beer that we injected like weed terpenes.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, why not? Weed and fruit together. So, so we'll be rolling out with those,
So
like
different fruits and different terpenes, or same
different
terpene,
fruits
different
and,
fruits.
yeah, different fruits and different terpenes.
That's
Why
amazing.
not? It's just like, yeah, we've been playing around with that. So I mean, we're all about the things. So
That's fun. How do you feel about the terps in general?
I mean, I've been a big fan of the terpene beers for, I mean, probably even before COVID. Just going down to the United States, and they would have like just some 20-liter keg hanging out, just that they threw some terpenes in it. This is like, oh, we have purple Kush or whatever the thing is, and it's like, all right, cool, like let's try that. So I really like the experimentation of that. I find it just becomes like very like one dimensional. It's like, cool, it kind of tastes like weed, but not a weed connoisseur by any means. So it's just like, it's that really tastes like the particular strain, as like obviously is being diluted down with beer and like some hops in there and all that stuff. So it's like, I don't know if I can really identify with like that particular strain, but I think it's cute. It's marketing. So
Yeah, they're fun. I feel what you're saying though. Like they are a little by nature one dimensional because the terps do take over, so everything just tastes like that. It's almost like no matter, maybe I'm wrong, but almost like no matter what hops you put in,
it's gonna
the
taste like a Christmas tree.
basically.
Yeah.
And if you're, I like it. I'm a weed guy, not a smoke. I'm a edible guy. Um, so I'm not like mad at terps. I like terps in beer. I think it's fun. But yeah, it's that's an interesting one that's sort of become a bit of a niche thing, and certain breweries have kind of hung their hats on it. Is it very common in Quebec? Because I don't think I've seen it in Quebec like I have out here.
I've seen it very sparingly here and there.
Okay,
And I don't even think in the United States it really took off. Like I feel
I
like
would agree.
there's still, I think there's a spot for it. It's just I don't really understand why it hasn't taken off. And maybe it's just because like the people who smoke weed want the THC or the CBD or both. And the people who drink beer don't want that. So maybe there's like an intersection of like well, I don't want my beer to taste like weed or smell like weed. And it's like the people who are more weed forward are just like, well, I don't really drink beer to do my thing. So I think there's like an intersection that like just doesn't cross.
Hmm.
I like the
Fair
idea
point.
of it, but yeah, it's just like
It's an interesting one.
you can't sell like alcoholic CBD or THC beer, right? Because like the two don't
No,
mix. So
no, it's one or the
I
other.
think there's like that intersection, like the sort of faux pas or it just doesn't mix thing. So it's too bad because like I like the flavor of both. Like to me, like my ideal soda is like a spruce beer. I just love that shit. As
You're a
like
psycho.
that
A
would line
weed
up with
beer.
like a THC, not a THC, but like a terpene beer, right? So
Yeah,
um
that is true. It would. And I hadn't thought about the lack of intersection. That's a really good point. Like, there's people who want either or, and they're not really into it. Or I guess it's really just for maybe like the weed heads who also drink, and maybe it's like tastes like it. So if you're smoking weed, then you're sipping the beer that tastes like weed, but there's no weed in it,
yeah.
and it's kind of like complementing it. I enjoy it as an edible guy, not a smoker, but as an edible guy, I'm like, I enjoy it for sure. Yeah, and if they use right, I find that they use the best in super murky hazy IPAs. For some reason, I think that body absorbs the terpenes the best and delivers
Right.
the best flavor alongside big punchy dank hops.
Hmm.
Whereas if you have it in a lighter bodied beer, I find that it becomes you kind of like it's just it's a little much.
Right.
The terpenes don't become as like flavorful, and I find that the best body for it is that big fucking chalky, massive, 6 to 8% up, IPA, New England. So it's like that would be just my personal taste, I guess. But I find that
Yeah.
they're cool. And there's all my out here,
Well,
all my
that
friends
kind of
love
makes
those.
sense. That also makes sense of like where you're coming from too. It's like if you fancy more edibles, well, edibles would be in some sort of like
Don't taste like that.
candy-esque thing. So
Correct. I have gummies. Yeah.
the weed sort of like bitterness would be offset by the sweetness of the candy or whatever like
Yes.
that. So it's
Correct.
like when you're talking about introducing those kind of compounds and big hazy IPA, well, usually big hazy IPAs have a good amount of residual sweetness, and so yeah, so that makes sense. It's on par.
I hadn't thought of it like that. That's a great point. Because even sometimes the gummies don't taste like weed. Sometimes they do. It depends on how well they're able to mask it. But they're usually sugar, and you're right. They're gummies that are sugar
Yeah,
coated. So they're gummies what's the word? Fucking they got the weed, the oil or whatever it is that they use to put it in
yeah,
there. The THC concentrate and then covered in sugar. So you eat it, but it's really quickly gone as far as the gummies. They're very small, tiny. It's
yeah.
like any standard gummy. You eat them real quick, and then the flavor's gone pretty quickly. So and I always try to like mask it quick because I'm usually drinking, and I try to mask it with some chips or something that I'm eating to just like quickly kill that sweetness because that will affect my palate for the beer. And I'm
Right.
usually thinking about what I'm drinking and da da da. So, but I'm like, you got to have the gummy before you start to eat stuff. So it's always like,
Now, I got a question for you because you're like more of this like gummy and all that stuff. Now, if
mm,
you had Vegemite and you put cannabis in it, would you have to put like sweetness in there, or like how are you going to balance all this out?
that's a wonderful question because Vegemite is, a beautiful product. I feel
But it's
like
also very bitter too.
it is bitter and it's quite salty, and I think the saltiness would probably play the role of the sweetness
True.
and mask or deflect from any of those. There's a because it's almost like I was about to say like THC, but it's kind of like terpene. They do taste like terpene, I guess. Is the
Hmm.
flavor profile because the terpene beers taste like the weed concentrate, but it just has no THC in it. So if a compound like Vegemite, a yeast spread that is very strong, bitter, as you said, salty, intense, I think might mask the terpenes really well if you use the right ones with it on a spread. And I wonder, I was thinking, how would you'd almost say if you had a jar and because these things are very measured, right? Which is what I appreciate as a consumer of edibles in Canada, and particularly you go to the States and things are a bit more Wild West. Whereas I come here and I know exactly what I'm going to get every time. A 5 milligram drink here probably hits like a 10 milligram does in the States because it's Delta 9, whereas here is real THC and very different. So I would imagine that you would have to have some sort of scoop that would have like the exact measurement to deliver what's on the label. As in, like, if you want 2.5 milligrams of THC, you use this scoop that comes with it. That exact scoop that gives you that amount of time. You put it on the bread, and then and you do your thing. That would probably be the way to go about something like that. But I haven't seen products such as that before. It sounds like a very
so you shouldn't get your toast and then put weed butter on there and then your weed infused Vegemite, because then you'd be fucked.
Unless that's your MO. If you're who are we? I'm not yucking your yum. I'm out here supporting whatever you want to do. If that's your vibes, fucking let's go. I've still got upstairs. I found the other day. I have there's like a coffee pouch. It's 10 milligrams for a coffee pouch. I never had it. I'm just like still in my little container. I'm like, oh, that's funny. And I got these other little container of.
Wait, it's coffee with like CBD or THC?
It's 10 milligrams, and I think it's almost like a tea bag. Is my guess. I had never opened it, and I'm like, okay, I got it a couple of years ago, so I hope it's still okay. I guess it's still in the packet. And I got this other thing. It was like a little tin, and they got 4 packets of 2.5 milligram powder. So say if you're having a fucking soup, you could be like, yoink, put that bitch in there, and then you're gonna
like MSG.
Basically, yeah, MSG, but THC.
Yeah,
I still never tried it, and I was thinking about it the other day because I always forget that I had it. Once again, had it for years, and I just never used it because I was like, I don't know. You just have the gummies in Montreal because in Quebec you couldn't get the gummies because they had some bullshit rule about they were worried about the children, whereas Ontario they've had gummies.
Fuck the children. We don't need them anymore.
That's what I'm saying, and also be a parent and like keep him in the closet at the top or something. Like don't put it in the fucking next to the cereal, you dickhead, and then they won't eat it. You fucking
wait, the kids or the gummies?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Because then the parents won't eat the kids, and then the kids won't eat the gummies.
Gotcha.
Chain reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny. The whole edible world is definitely like it's pretty intense, but it's cool. It's cool to see where it's gone, and I don't know if I've seen spreads like that. Any sort of spread, whether Vegemite, peanut butter, jam, Nutella.
I haven't seen any of this stuff.
I wonder if there's a demand for it.
Idea.
I kind of think it is. Don't steal it. Don't steal it, or we'll sue. Fucking pieces. How you feel about a quick pee break? Because I feel like we've.
I would go for a pee break right now.
Yeah, we've definitely broken the seal. All right, we'll be right back, yo. And we are back, and we have a final beer we're going to finish up on. The last thing I did want to ask was on the res. You know how you got the special alcohol rules, and we kind of talked about this like on chat before. Is there any special cannabis rules? You know, obviously it's federally legal here in Canada. Does the res have any like special cannabis laws that are the good, bad, whatever, anything like that?
They do. It's actually illegal right now. It's still been illegal since it's been legal everywhere else.
In October 2018.
Yeah, they haven't really figured out what they want to do with that. There's people that have solicited that they want to have sort of like weed shops or dispensaries or grow ups and all that stuff, and it's just like everything's been sort of like on the back burner. I guess they're just trying to figure out what they want to do with that. They're observing how it's going in Quebec, Ontario, other reserves.
I know Mohawk in on the way to Prince Edward County, they have a whole bunch of weed stores on the way down there.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain territories that it hasn't gone super well, so I think that's kind of the fear of that.
What does that What does that mean, by the way? Hasn't gone well. Is there like problems, or is it just not
Well, I
financially
mean,
viable? Or?
yeah, I mean, there's like, street violence and all that stuff, street gangs that kind of move in from whatever, Montreal or whatever like that, and because it's kind of like hard to trace what's going on, I guess, on
Gotcha,
certain
gotcha.
territories, and so you know, there could be some street gangs using that to their advantage or whatever like that. So,
Interesting.
um,
Never thought of that.
I'm not like particularly for it. I think SQDC has a great structure already in place, and if anybody's wants to smoke weed or do edibles or whatever like that, I like just head down there. That's probably the safest bet.
Mm.
But but yeah, I don't know. That's not my forte of things. That's not my
A little outside of the realm.
yeah, yeah.
Totally
But
get it. Well,
yeah, I have some friends in other reserves, and that haven't gotten super well. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
that's where they go. Okay, good to hear. Thank you for the feedback. I'm just curious because it's I fuck with it and it's fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of docking, which we didn't speak of,
I don't
we
know if we
have.
segued it.
Do you like that? That was very aggressive, very terrible thing. I was just trying to segue to this final beer, which isn't even out yet at the time of recording. It doesn't come out till next week.
Right.
And we're looking at a glorious oyster stout collaboration with Dockside in. You said, did you say PEI or did you say where
Lone Oak in PEI.
in PEI? Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, Spencer. I've met Spencer probably about 2 years ago on a family trip out to PEI, and yeah, he was like he was awesome. We invited him down to come join the AMBQ, which is the Brewers conference down here in Quebec,
Oh
and
wow.
down in the Maritimes they have a very small one. So he was like, "Yeah, we'll come check it out," and they checked it out last year. They absolutely loved it. Him and his crowd, and they came down once again this year. And then this year it's like we really wanted to set up a collab with them. It's like we had someone. I had such a blast with them 2 years ago in their backyard. We didn't do a collab. It was just really just kind of passing through with the family and all that stuff. But and then last year we had a blast in Quebec City. So it's like if we can have them down, we're gonna do it. So we wanted to add a little maritime touch to it. So obviously the oysters to it. Just so happened to be that we did a oyster event at KBC um, the Saturday after AMBQ. So unfortunately, the guys from Lone Oak weren't able to make it because they had to go back home. But this was awesome to collaborate on the recipe. They actually gave us some hops from PEI for this one, and we used all the oyster shells from our oyster night. So we had probably about like 1,200 oyster shells going into this beer. And what we're looking for is like the salinity, the earthiness of it, like the saltiness, the ocean aspect of it. So in the final product, all you're going to really do is get like a little bit of like the salt aspect. So it really just rounds out the mouth feel to it. And the stout itself is kind of dialed back in terms of roastiness and everything like that. But yeah, it's just like it's great easy drinking 6% stout, which is pretty crazy when you think of a stout at 6%. It's not an imperial stout, so
It's a nice crossover one,
cheers, man.
brother. Get that in you. Mm. I see what you're saying. The oyster side is like I feel like if you didn't know, you wouldn't really. For those who are like, what the fuck you put oysters in the stout, bro? You're not gonna. There's nothing,
It
more like
doesn't
trying
taste
to.
like it. It doesn't
No.
taste like an oyster. It's really just like the saltiness that comes off the like the brine, that
Yeah.
comes off the shells and all that stuff. And that's really just like an afterthought of the beer. Like it's like an after flavor that you might get of just like a little bit of salt. But you
But it's
just
very
just
subtle.
yeah, otherwise it's just really kind of like stout. Um, but it was really fun to do this beer
The
with
head.
them. It was really like the first time we ever did something like that. It's been really on my like bucket list of things to do for a good while. And Spencer and his team wanted to do it in PI. So we're gonna do like a home at home with this recipe.
Hell yeah. So you can
And
do one too?
yeah, he wants to do one too. So hopefully I get down there and try it out. Because they just
And it,
do great beers. And they do great seltzers and all that stuff. So they just like they crush what's going on in PEI.
we've only had one PI brewery on, and they unfortunately recently closed down. So it'd be sick to get more PI people on the pod to show off different parts of Canada. That's sick,
Who
man.
who was it that closed down?
It was Upstreet.
Up Street. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
so
Yeah,
they did Libra. So we got in. They like in like 2020. They had their
yeah.
non-alcoholic brand, and still to this
True.
day, it was
Yeah,
my favorite. It was the one that put me on to non-alc, and they
yeah.
sent some beer, and we were like, "Oh, this is cool." And then we like they started ordering from them, and then got in touch with them in the end. They had Upstreet on, so his name's Mike Hogan. Hoagie went by, and we had him on, and uh we did the Libra stuff and the regular stuff. So I think their regular stuff was a little more chill, but their Libra was doing pretty well from the non-alc side. Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
talking the last few months they shut down, which sucks. So we're I want to
That's
focus
true. I
on.
did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real shame, man. So I'm trying to just like showcase more because it's mostly on obviously Ontario and Quebec, which is amazing because there's so many great people to speak to. Just trying to like expand the horizons a little bit. You know, we've done a bunch more BC this year. Oh, I froze,
Right.
fucking bitch ass. So I was just thinking about like just really considering you know.
Well, I could put you in touch with Spencer. He's like
Yeah.
he's a great guy and all that stuff. He loves belly button lint. So if you can just package that up and send it to him,
Oh, yeah.
um,
I'll
just
wear my.
loves it.
Okay, good. I imagine he does. I'm excited for
Yeah.
him. Has he ever used it in a beer?
I mean, we thought about maybe filtering it through belly button lint, but it would take a lot of belly button lint to get to that. So,
If there's anyone who can do it, it's the Kahnawake Brewing Company community
or Spencer at Lone Oak.
specifically.
Yeah,
Is he gonna kill
yeah.
you for
No,
that?
he's a good cunt. Just love that guy. It's always a lot. Like I'll send you some videos offline
Okay.
of like,
He's a wild man.
yeah, he's good. He's good.
I love that. Um, this beer is fantastic, dude. I'm a huge fan. This is why this one was appealing to me. I love low ABV stouts. I always find that
Hmm.
like most drinking sessions, I would kind of crave, you know, after some Crispies and you know whether it's Westies or just IPAs in general. Um, I would always find that I'm craving something like this, and I really like seeing something like this around. And this is an interesting one because it's got a nice little twist to it with the oyster in there, which is
Right.
subtle and fun. You know,
So this is a funny thing because you're like the second beer god to mention this because it's just like I mean we sort of always do stouts around 4.5 to 6%,
okay,
and that's just like I mean we always have a dark beer on tap. I mean during the summer we like to have Schwarzbier, which is a dark lager, but then
huge fan.
during the winter we're always like fall, winter, spring. We're kind of revolving through like these sort of like low ABV, I mean lower ABV stouts. But I think it's like we have this sense perception of like these like big, massive like pastry stouts or whatever like that that have to be 10% and like chocked full of like brownie batter or something like that. Um, so it's funny because I mean, like, who's the king of stouts when you think of it? It's got to be Guinness,
Quebec
but Guinness is only 4.5, right?
Yeah.
So,
So it's
I mean, like
lighter.
for us who focus on like the drinkability and all that stuff, I mean, we can't sell 10%, pastry stouts all day, all night. But as like stouts are really just are low ABV beers, and yeah, but it's funny because like I like how we got commented on or like complimented on doing some low ABV stouts, but really stouts are low ABV beers.
Inherently, I guess, because in all of our beer nerd heads, it's
Yeah.
they're just big boys, right? And I like every Wednesday. That's when I have
Well,
my
in
big
recent
session.
history, I guess, like within the last what 10 years or
It's taken
fi-
over. Arguably, is
yeah.
that fair to say that maybe the craft brewing industry has really like since the advent of particularly barrel aged stouts,
Yes.
like from
100%.
Bourbon County claim it, but I read something recently where apparently it was refuting that they didn't invent it, but I didn't read the whole thing. I saw the headline. I'm like, okay, well, whoever the fuck invented it, it's here,
Yeah.
and people put fucking big stouts in bourbon barrels.
I
Whatever.
think them and what was it? I think
Okay.
wasn't it Founders that had like a big stout?
KBS,
Kentucky, yeah,
KBS, yeah.
KBS. It's like I think those two ruined it for everybody else.
Basically, and then brought
Yeah.
everybody up to doing it. No, but like I love those beers, but they have a like right now this is beer number 6 for this evening. Having that style of beer right now wouldn't particularly suit it. However, I'm frozen again, you bitch ass.
However,
The
we're gonna do it at when we finish recording.
I'm not scared. Wait, you think I'm scared? I'm not scared, Drew. I'm not fucking scared. But
You're a
the
vampire. You don't sleep at night.
No, I'm like I definitely am not sleeping as much these days. Jesus Christ. But the low ABV stouts don't get I just find that yeah, cool. Everyone loves Guinness and that's fine. But I feel like oatmeal stouts, something like this oyster stout, like anywhere between 4 and 6%, like low ABV stuff doesn't get the props that I think they deserve. And personally, I try to keep them on deck as much as possible just because it's something that I want to drink at the end of like a session when you've had a bunch of the lagers, the malty, like lighter malt, and you've had a bunch of haze, maybe hop forward stuff, and some westies or whatever. And I'm like, I either want some sort of a fruited sour, whether it's a smoothie or some other type of thing, and then this. That's what
Yeah.
I personally would crave, and I just don't know if they get
This is
their
the great
props.
like ender, the greatest
Yeah,
like yeah. Yeah.
I have a little like I'm a sweets guy, but I've like cut down a lot over the years. So I don't need volume, but I just give me a little bit, and I'm satiated. So you have like little piece of chocolate, little cookie, something like that. With this bad boy, fucking bring the night on home, and you're a happy camper. It's like it's
Sure.
just I find I value them much more than I ever did, and like I'm proactively trying to keep them around. So to me, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I'm looking for in that, and the oyster makes it more interesting because it's like, oh, this is fun little bit of salinity in there. It's nothing crazy as far as like it's not going to overwhelm the palate, but it makes it like that they're a part of what this beer is, and that ties into the history and the culture of PI and da da da. And like sick. All right, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
PIOS is a god tier. So this is lit. Boom, very smart collab, man. Very cool, and it's cool that you're connecting with a brewery out there as well in a smaller pace and just really like building. I love that.
It goes back to also your thing about like being down to do any kind of fuckery is
Yeah,
like I feel like we even pitched this to them, and this is like shit from their backyard. It's like we're gonna use PEI oysters, and we're gonna like we're all the like actually we're supposed to shuck oysters all together, and then throw them in there, and then like best case scenario we got like 300. Finally like the plans kind of like changed, and he had to go back home early and all that stuff. But then I'm like, we'll wait for Saturday because we're having an oyster event. We ended up having like 1,200 oysters,
so you
like the
take the top
shells.
part that you shuck, the top part you shuck
Yeah,
off.
the shook off, and they put that in the bucket and all that stuff. I was like, so we had like 4 times the amount of what we thought that we would have, and this is what we got out of it. It's just like good thing we waited, I guess. But yeah, it's just like, we use PEI oysters, we use PEI hops, and it's just like, we wanted to do something strange and weird and all that stuff. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen next week when we release it. It's going to be, it's generally dark beers don't sell too well.
Even at this
So,
time of year?
I mean, they sell better this year, but I mean, like this time of year. But honestly, like, this is a very interesting kind of beer. I'm worried about people being shied away by oysters.
Well, in the time I've been into beer, it's not the first oyster stout I've seen. I feel like it's
No, it's not. It's not uncommon.
that, and I guess in that sense, it's not like people might have come across it before to be able to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I've seen one of those. That's not crazy. I mean, I guess at the bar you might need to give a little sample and to be like, look, man, trust me, try this fucking shit. It tastes, it's glorious. It doesn't taste like anything that you think it might. But it's, yeah, maybe it's a little, for the seasoned drinkers, they're going to be like, cool, bet, let's go. But for the maybe noobs who hadn't seen it before, they might have to be convinced a little bit. But try it for 2 seconds. I'm like, just keep in mind, the oysters are in there, but you can, there's like a tiny little salinity in the back end, maybe.
Yeah.
It's very subtle. So yeah, I see what you're saying though. Like it is I think it's still a fun, ballsy beer to do, and you're right. It comes back to your ethos of KBC and what you guys do as far as like being willing to try fun, ridiculous stuff. Always, which is
For sure. Shelving a bicky or putting an oyster in a beer.
Yeah. Once again, Google that to see what that means. The Canadians might call it hooping, from what I understand.
Hooping.
Yeah. I heard that's what Canadians told me. And every time I say to people, they're, what, am I hooping? That? Oh, I'm like, yeah.
Oh.
You want to get down like that? And they're like, no. I'm like, all right then. Well, that's
First I heard of that.
You're about to get hooped, my guy. Yeah.
You're younger than me though.
Me? I'm not younger than you. There's no way.
Well, you're younger in the lingo, I guess.
I'm with the kids. You know your Spotify rap thing. They said I was 18 with my music listening age, and it's
shit.
not. But I'm not listening to the kids' bullshit. It's just I'm listening to newer albums that made me 18. I think it's very funny.
It predicted that I was 39. I'm 40, so that's not bad.
That's not bad. That's actually pretty on point to where it's at. My other friend said he got the same thing. They got it basically right too. And I was like, oh, interesting. And I've had other people send me like some of my friend's sister got like 64, which is pretty funny. And she's like, I don't know.
What, did she listen to Beatles or what was going on?
All she said was it's my piano music. And I don't know what my piano maybe she's listening to like fucking Rachmaninoff or Bach or something and just vibing out.
I mean, if you listen to piano music, you gotta be old, I think. I don't know any young person listen to piano music.
I don't even know what that means, but my friend who told me that was like, and then she sent me another one from her other friend who got 74 years old. And she's like, I'm going to beat all these motherfuckers next year. I'm going to get like 100. I'm like, I bet, let's go. I like that. That's a valiant goal. Get that 100, man. It's, I'm with the kids, Drew. I'm with the kids. Pause and respect you.
I mean,
I'm Gen Alpha at this point.
For sure. I mean, you're on the up and up and all that shit. So, I mean, I saw you posted your video of you rapping at some venue. And I'm like, holy shit, you were mad young.
Oh, that was like 2012. That wasn't even my song. That was like we used to run this event called Hip Hop Karaoke.
Kanye song.
Yeah, Kanye joint, because it was like we ran.
Would you do it now? Would you do it now? Would you do it now?
Yes, Kanye's a goat. I don't give a fuck. Have you look? See this? This is all Yeezys. I don't give a shit. I'm wearing Yeezy slides right now. I don't give a fuck. Yay, the goat all day. People aren't with it, but it's okay. It's okay. You gotta be dedicated. He's been my goat since 2002. Keep that in mind.
It's
Most people didn't know who he was until like 2010.
White supremacy is a thing. It's okay.
He's not white supremacy. Well, yeah. Well, no. He apologized to a rabbi recently, which was weird. Look, sometimes you have to understand that your goat. He said himself, "Name one genius who ain't crazy." He's off his fucking head because that's why he's.
He is definitely off his head.
Yeah, I don't think any Kanye fan, we've been through it over the years. Trust me, like we are going through it. Imagine trying us trying to explain his actions.
Threw,
dude,
Taylor Swift off the stage. I mean,
fuck Taylor Swift forever and ever. Fuck her. Good, he was right. But why did he stand up for Beyonce? That was unnecessary. But fuck Taylor Swift. It's it's rough being a Kanye fan, Drew. It really is. So I think all of my friends who are like me, who are all like, we get pretty exasperated. I've got a few friends who've given up. But it's like I'm here. I'll wait for the next round because the crazy.
Okay, but serious question though, you really think he's good though?
Oh, he's the greatest of all time in every aspect. There's no one who is better at producing. There's been no better producer. Rapper,
producing.
Okay, you could argue the rapping. For me, you gotta think of it like this. I was like 21 years old. We're in the studio every day. We're listening to the Leaks in 2002. College Dropout didn't come out till 2004. So we're listening to All Falls Down, Through the Wire, Family Business, all those songs in 2002 in the demos because we got the leaks, along with all of these other things. And he was rapping in a way that no one else has ever rapped. And at the time, it influenced us so much so that the music I'd released over the last 25 years was more influenced by him than anything else. And it's hard to, it's almost like it's imprinted to the point where like you can't take that away, that influence away from any of the stuff. You listen to anything I've ever put out and you're like, oh, I can see why you like that. Why, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. But because you couldn't be Eminem, right? So you had to like.
Well, he wasn't trying to be Eminem.
But like because like you as a aspiring artist, because you couldn't be Eminem, so you had to go for like a lower tier thing.
I see what you're saying, but I didn't care for Eminem back then. I didn't like Eminem in the beginning. I didn't like him till Marshall Mathers, and I wasn't trying to do that at all. It's a weird thing, man. It's just like if you're into and it's like, and then on top of that, the fashion, and I would argue I don't have any. There's nothing anyone could say to me that would convince me otherwise that the fashion has not been the most fire of all time. Like my entire, you should see how many I got. All my hoodies, everything's all.
Did you buy his latest T-shirt?
The White Lives Matter one or the Nazi one? No, because you couldn't get those. Actually, I could get those if I wanted to. The Nazi one actually got his Spotify still taken down, but the White Lives Matter you could have got. I did not get that because I thought it'd be fun to have it in the collection, but I didn't get it just for lols. But I got everything. I got basic almost all the different stuff I needed. It's obviously you're not a fan, so it's hard to. There's nothing really.
No,
there's not much I could say.
I don't like his music. I feel it's very 80s.
Oh, you're breaking up heavy. Uh-oh. There goes Drew. Right in the middle of the Kanye conversation. This is big deal. It's a big deal, Drew.
Yeah, we're back. Okay. I don't like his raps. I feel it's very ABC rap. His production, I can't deny that he's not produced some great. So I'll give him that. Fashion,
not your vibe.
Not my vibe.
Understood.
But clearly, people spend money on it. So, like, because it's not my.
You're breaking up so hard, dude. I think you've kind of disappeared right now. I might need to pause for a sec to get Drew back so we can wrap this pod up, and then we can talk about Kanye off air. All right, we'll be right back. And we are back with Uncle Drew. So what we were saying about Ye, I think you were saying that the production is fire. You felt the raps were ABC, which I actually understand. But my guess, if you're saying that, my fucking camera, Jesus Christ. My guess is that you probably haven't dug deeper than maybe the singles or the albums as opposed to anything else. Would that be a fair take?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Okay.
I'm thinking about like even on the Drake collab with Lil
Eminem.
Wayne
Fu-
and
um,
Eminem and all that stuff. And it's just like
Forever.
I watched reaction videos and it's just like, oh man, I think Ye's got it. It's just like, are you guys serious? Are they doing it for clickbait? I'm like, but
Mm.
I'm not a rapper by any means. I'm not an extensive rap consumer, no, either. So it's just like, but to me, is like Eminem is a great lyricist. But I mean, Lil Wayne, I'm sorry, like he's not even on this planet Earth. But
Hang on. Does that mean good or bad?
bad, bad, just
Have
bad.
you? Okay, so that's another like you haven't heard Drought 3 mixtape. It's Wayne is
No,
one of the goats. Wayne is incredible, and everybody said what you said. And I had all my rapidy rap friends growing like in the 2000s give
yeah,
us shit because me and all my boys were all like going hard on Wayne. Pause. And like you have to like Carter 2 is one of the greatest albums of all time. It's absolutely. I think about some of the lyrics all the time. It's so good. Yeah, because you
yeah.
but have you heard those? You probably I imagine my guess
Well,
is if
because I think the delivery is just like sounds amateur to me, and I'm like an
what if
untrained ear to it.
okay, that's fair. Have you just heard the because I feel like you're a music dude, so I feel like if you heard the real shit you'd probably
Yeah,
have
but
a
but but
solid
I
opinion.
would relate more with like Maddie, let's say, than I relate with like what we're talking about now. I do enjoy a good
It's whether there's certain
rap
rap
and
you
also,
like, at certain styles of rap that you prefer, and then if there's something else that maybe it doesn't really work for you, what you're into
well,
type shit.
because I think there's a level of like listenability, and I think this is my approach to even beer, is like drinkability is like there's listenability, and it's just like so sure, so maybe Kanye, or maybe Lil Wayne and all that stuff have a sort of like very digestible, or like a very intricate way of rapping. But if you're not in tuned with that sort of like style of rapping, I don't I don't think I'll I don't think from my angle I'll understand that. Like just so like, I mean, we're talking about beers where like sure, I think hazy IPAs are more mainstream music now than they've ever been. But like we're going back to Crispies, and it's just like the nuances and the sort of like subtleties and all that stuff is like the Kanye's and the Little Waynes of rap music are like the Crispies to a hazy drinker, where it's just like, dude, that's just beer. That's just boring beer, and that's just like blonde, and like that's just like Roos or red or whatever like that. But there's a lot of like nuances that you would understand if you were into it. But if you're into like, oh, I want to know what like Amarillo and Citra and Simcoe and Crush and 1019 and whatever. It's like if you're into that, which I feel like is like kind of like pop music right now for beer, would be hops. Um, it's like yeah, I think that's where I'm getting at. You
That's a
know.
really astute take, bro. Like I can't even disagree because it's exactly what I was kind of saying was if you know and you are into that because I'm also like a little like I understand because I'm obviously been dealing with people hating on both those two, Ye and Wayne forever, who have been two favorites of mine. So it's like okay, like I get it. As a rapidy rap dude who came up from the like '91, I was into hip hop. So I've been came up in the rapidy rap, Nas, Mobb Deep, and Wu Tang, and fucking whatever, all the underground cats all the way up. when Ye came out, I can understand if you hear that, and maybe sometimes it's the same as beer. And I love the parallel that you've drawn here. I think this is fucking fascinating, and thank you for doing this. It's like it's like you sometimes got to be in the right place, the right mind state. Like I used to think Roos, me, Maddie, Nate, Noah, we always make fun of like Team Roos. Like we're like, yeah, we want fucking Roos, but we're kind of making fun of it, but we like it. But like, it's like if you were there at the time, you think it's amazing. My first favorite style was an amber ale because it was the thing. It was just a little bit more elevated than a lager, but it was so different and malty and a little bit of caramel. Like, whoa, this is crazy. So like it's all about context at the time, what your palate's like, what you're ready for, and that's the same musical palette too. So I think that goes for every genre, every sort of thing. It's a really cool parallel to play right there, and like each to their own. And maybe there's a time where maybe you and me will sit down and be like, let me play you a few joints that show you why I think these people are dope at rapping or whatever. And then you might be in the mood, have a few beers, with chilling, and you'll be like, I think I get it. Maybe it's not for you, but you like, I understand, as opposed to I love it. But you like, cool, I get it. You've showed me something that I didn't hear on the radio. Because if you didn't dig into it, it's really hard to like. If you only heard Wayne on the surface, why the fuck would you like that guy? I absolutely understand. You gotta dig. You got to dig. And when you hear Kanye in the come up, and you I bet you there's probably bands that you're into, because I know you're a metal guy, that you heard on the come up, and it's like, nah, that's my shit. Like that's my guys, because I heard them before they were big. There was 500 listeners, and now there's 1 million. Like. Yeah. And not that I heard Ye when there was 500 listeners, but I was very early in the scheme of it, and that's my guy. And I just like, and it happened to be that my guy is the most problematic dude, but also one of the most genius dudes of all time. So I'm twisting my fucking face to try and stand up for him. But
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's certain songs that from Kanye and from Lil Wayne that I really enjoy. But for me to be like to consider myself a fan,
you need more.
I need more.
I get it, bro.
It was a fluke, maybe. It was a fluke.
Well,
and I really think in terms of like Lil Wayne, his best stuff is when he has to be featured on somebody else's stuff.
Because he did the Busta Rhymes move. Busta Rhymes did that first, and then Wayne went like 100 features a year type shit. But he also was the mixtape god in the 2000s. So like, if you didn't hear the mixtapes and you didn't hear because I got sent, I was a music reviewer, and in 2003 I got sent his album called 500 Degrees, and at first I was like, oh, why are they sending me this book? I hate these motherfuckers. The whole like Hot Boys, all those Juvenile, all that. I hated that shit. And then he sent me this album, and I was like, I wasn't supposed to like it because I'm a rapidy rap guy. And I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing. What the fuck? Then he dropped the Carter 1. I was like, oh shit. Then the Carter 2 in 2005. I'm like, oh, this is incredible. And to this day, like there's like 5, 6, 7, 8 songs on that album that are absolutely like perfect. That if I could ever rap that good, I would be on it. Like there's no chance I would rap that good. Like it's so good that 20 years this year that album came out. But you had to be there, and then I had other friends that got so deep throughout between 2005 and 2010 that they didn't listen to anything else. There was other rappers in Melbourne that wouldn't listen. They did not listen to anything else but Wayne for years. Nothing, because there was so much music, and there was other people who didn't understand that. Like, and it was. Yeah, sometimes things click for you. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes things are in a what's it called, an acquired taste. And I feel like I get it. If people say they hate it, I'm like, I get it, bro. And maybe if I play you the most fire shit, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm like, cool. That means it's just not for you, and that's okay, and that's totally fine. And that's a great parallel you pulled with beer, because it could be the same thing. Maybe Wayne for you is saisons. So maybe people have 1 million saisons, the best of the best, still not for them. I know people like that. Dan from Zenon, he doesn't fuck with stouts. I'm like, dude, stop it. fucking drink stout, dude. I'm trying to put him onto stuff. I'm making him get stuff. And he's just like, yeah, it's just not, it seems like it might not be for him. I'm like, I want to bust
and that's why all these genres of beer and music and food and wine and cocktails and whatever exist, because like not everything could please everybody.
100%. And it's kind of like, it's a beautiful thing to discuss it, because it's not like I'm not trying to ever convince you, and I don't think you're trying to convince me. It's like we can have a talk about it, and you can be like, yeah, this guy sucks, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, because I'm used to it. It just doesn't trigger me being like, what the fuck, you hate my guy? I'm like, okay, cool, I get it, man. Have you heard this? And you're like, nah. I'm like, okay, well, I'd love to play you this at some point, to be like, maybe you might like it.
We gotta sit down, because you do like maybe at least one of the most controversial people out there. So I would love to hear.
You mean yay, or you mean, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's controversial as fuck. And me and I got another mate in Australia who's like as upset. He's more like he's downloaded all of the unreleased albums, because Kanye's got about 10 unreleased albums that have names, have leaks. He's compiled the leaks, he's cut them together and blended it. I'm like, I'm not that serious with it. So he's like really disappointed at all the Kanye stuff. He's like, our goat is gone. Who the fuck is our goat now? I'm like, he's still my goat. I don't give a fuck. Like, maybe he'll come back. He's quiet right now. When he's quiet, that means something bad might happen soon, or something good, or something good. Because he goes, it depends where he's at. I don't know. It's like when you've got that sort of that level of output, and some people have just got the brain where it's all over the place. It just is what it is.
I mean, he might meet Kim Jong-il like next week and just press the red button, and then we're blammo.
Let's go. I mean, it'd all be worth it, because we got the music and we got the
it's like his album release is also celebrated with a nuclear bomb.
Yeah. I would hope he wouldn't take it that far, but we never know. But I like the parallel that you drew. So all of that said, this was awesome, man. I'm really glad we got to hang out and try the latest stuff, a bunch of stuff. Excuse me, a bunch of styles as well. That you guys are just killing it, dude, man. I'm really happy for you, and congrats on figuring out how to get your shit out there and get it on the island, but like beyond Kahnawake and into Quebec and into people's hands, and you're doing collabs, and you just like, you guys are fucking killing it, and you're about to celebrate 8 years in April. It's a beautiful thing, man. Just I love to see it.
I mean, we like to pull in some awards too. Like we just pulled in silver for our ESB. So I mean, that's been there you go. That's the beer that I've been brewing since like I was home brewing in a garage, So it's like, it's nice to get recognized on shit like that. So yeah, it's cool, man. Like we're just doing what we're trying to do since the day one, since we met and all that stuff. And it's like shouldn't wait 4 years to let
No, we should just every year. This is absolutely ridiculous. That's why I reached out to you for this. Like, I was like, I just felt like it had been a while, and I was like, bro,
I didn't think it was that while, but goddamn, yeah.
Well, 3 years for link up, but 4 years for a proper Kahnawake pod. And I'm just, I apologize. Let's do it every year, because it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's an excuse to hang the fuck out for a bunch of hours and get lit. And just talk. But no, man, I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of what you've done with this. It's so cool to have seen it from the jump, and coming up to 8 years and just doing all the things that you're doing. And literally you and your partners wrote the liquor laws for the reservation. And like, you're building something in a way that basically nobody has done before. And it's so like, I sing your praises anytime I can. I just think everything you guys are doing is incredible. It's sick. Keegan and Sam are just such G's as well. You got a great team behind you that are helping you work on it, and you guys are so creative and so welcoming to the community. And I think that is also the other beautiful thing, that you've always been. So you've never been like too good or too big to work with any of us, and to come, you always bring us into stuff, and you're always down for fun, silly, ridiculous things. And it's something that, like, I would like to say I'd speak for me, Nate, Matt, Noah, all the boys, and so and PR probably would feel the same as well. Just thank you, man. Like you make it so easy for us to want to come together and work on some silly things and just put something fun and cool that we thought was creative out into the marketplace. And yeah, you're one of the only outlets that are super down for stuff like that. And I don't want you to think that isn't appreciated by all of us, bro. It's you're a fucking champion.
Hey man, that's greatly appreciated. All these kind words and all that stuff, and honestly, like, I mean, I wish our reach was like much larger and all that stuff, and it was like just spread our stupidity a little bit more. But it is what it is, and it's like I'm glad you guys are along, for the ride and all that stuff. You guys are always down for it, and I mean, you've been down since day one, so
it's a beautiful
I mean,
thing.
you called a beer shelf a Vicky.
Should that be the episode now? Should we call it that?
Just shelving the Vickies.
Shelving the. I'm gonna write it down. We can come up with this together. I normally don't bring the guest. I just usually come up with something that we said on the pod, but
yeah,
we could come up with that.
We got a lot of good content in 3 hours and 30 minutes. So
I think we've done pretty well. I think we've done really good. I think we captured what you guys have been up to, and like it was cool. There's a couple lagers, the saison, a couple haze, and now the oyster stout. I think this is a really good snapshot of what you guys are up to and what people can expect. So moving forward. Is there anything that you want to mention that's coming up? Obviously, this is dropping New Year's Eve, so coming into the first few months of 2026, is there anything that you want to mention that maybe, or at least tease that could be happening that people might want to?
I mean, if you made it this far, fucking fantastic, man. Honestly, we're just going to be trucking along with some more beers outside of territory. We're going to be trucking along with tons of beers on the territory. So if you come down in the Montreal area, you got to come down to Kahnawake, and we're honestly like 10 minutes away from like the best spot in Montreal. And it's just like we just want to brew some honest beers with some great food and make sure that you guys have a great time. So check all those boxes for when you're coming down in Montreal, or if you're already in Montreal, no excuse, come down.
Couldn't agree more. Right over the bridge. It's super close. It's very, very easy to get there, and tons of parking, really easy. There's it's just a vibe. It's just great, really cozy. Obviously we're doing this in winter, so it's a super cozy tap room as well. It's lots of like woods, and it just feels great. The food is phenomenal, the beer is phenomenal, the people are fucking awesome. So it's a vibe. So people need to get down. Where can everybody find Kahnawake Brewing online and in real life?
KahnawakeBrewing.com, Kahnawake.beer also. On all the social medias at Kahnawake Brewing. In real life, coming down to 22 Route 138, right off the Mercy Bridge, direction Chateauguay. We're there. We have a 125 spot hotel, 125 spot restaurant. We also have a 60 spot terrace, but I wouldn't go out there right now in the wintertime. But yeah, it's a great spot. We have some great food, great value, no tax, great beers, 14 lines of beers, and beers to go. If you're golfing enthusiasts, we have golf courses around us, and yeah, just gambling right down the road.
Oh, yep. And the casino. And on top of that, now that your beers are available, we have All Right and we have Beast available in specialty dépanneurs across the province of Quebec.
This is true.
You want to see those beers from Kahnawake in your favorite specialty dépanneur, go ask them to go, hey, yo, hit up Pivo Hub, Pivo Hub, get that shit, order that big dog, and they can bring that shit in for you. And
that's true. We're gonna have tons of new stuff coming out in the new year, as early as January, February. So we're very excited about that. And yeah, definitely head out to your local store and start harassing them for good stuff.
Get it in there.
Get it in ya.
Fucking get it in ya. Mate, Drew, you're a legend, brother. I appreciate you immensely, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for hanging out. And shouts to Emily as well. I just want to shout your wife, Emily. She hosted the AMBQ this year.
Yes.
Which is so dope. So I want to really give her props because she was messaging me and Tiff and be like, you guys coming down? I'm like, because it was right after the OCB. It was like I was in Quebec City. It was like a fucking 9-hour drive. I'm like, Doug,
the Canadian Canada Beer Cup
was there as well, right?
So yeah, I don't want to ruin too many secrets, but she might be back on the stage next time. So yeah,
let's go.
She did a bang up job on that. So.
Power couple there, man. You guys are killing it. It's a beautiful thing. She's always been such a G. I love because I got to hang out. Like I missed you when you were in Hamilton this year because I was out of town, but I saw Em in last summer when she was in town for I think the CBC
in Hamilton,
which was really nice to see her because I hadn't seen her in ages. So it's cool. You guys are really doing your thing together, and well, separately but together, and it's really dope. When you see a couple that are just killing it, man, and it's a beautiful thing in the industry, and you guys are really making an impact. So thank you for your time. Let's do this every fucking year because it's absolutely embarrassing on my part that we haven't done it.
It's been a blast, man. Honestly, it's been a blast.
Yeah, let's keep doing it. It's just kind of an excuse to hang out. That's why I see it, man. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tiff. I got to talk to Drew for fucking 4 hours. Like, I won't be that drunk when I come.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick around. We'll finish this up off air. But, dude, appreciate you immensely. Guys, make sure you check out everything that Kahnawake Brewing is doing. Get down there. Ask for it in your depths. Follow them on social, whatever. Just go get the fuck down there. It's a beautiful thing. If you're in Montreal, it's absolutely a must visit. Thank you so much for watching and listening, folks. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, as Drew actually said earlier. Hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us everywhere at BAOS Podcast. And check out the long form audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Not for me, goddammit, for Uncle Drew, for Kahnawake Brewing. Let's get it, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Cheers, all.